some love! What is best for business? What? Yes! Yes! What? Randy Orton slithering. Watch out! Watch out! Need more. What? Viva la raza!
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? Welcome to episode 16 of Under the Ring, the podcast that will tell you what you want to know, need to know, and hope to know about the WWE. We'll give you news, theories, and predictions to Raws and pay-per-views, past and present.
Having a little trouble there, Sergeant Stutter?
But, you know, we have to continue because Vinny doesn't have the room on his computer to save anything anymore.
Ray Dudley.
Regardless, we're live every Tuesday on Mixlr.com. That's MIXLR.com/UnderTheRing. Go and tell your friends and shit like that. If you can't catch us live, you can always catch us on the YouTube at Under the Ring Radio. We upload it every Wednesday. It's there. Great. Awesome. Twitter at Under the Ring 1. You can also follow us on Facebook at Under the Ring Radio, where you could share that little link to your friends, family, the milkman, the paperboy, you know. Just spread us to the world.
Breaking news. They have a milkman thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure somewhere in the Mid-South, the Midwest, they got
we have breaking news.
You breaking news?
As of tonight, Under the Ring will have an Instagram.
What?
Yep.
Oh.
That's news to Under the Ring.
We didn't know this.
That's news to 3/4 of us.
What the hell?
Who's running said page?
Me, because I'm always on Instagram. I live on Instagram. So.
All right, so then you can follow us onto the Instagram at Under the Ring Radio.
As of tonight.
As of tonight. Tonight, 12/24/2015.
What are we gonna post on?
Sure.
Shit.
Tell them.
Like pizza
Tell the
and
fans.
stuff.
There'll be good content out there.
I'm your host, Gasper, alongside Vinny,
Hi there.
Matt,
What's up?
and Dan.
Hi.
And Dan's so confused because I just broke that.
We're all really confused because
Breaking news.
Fastlane fucking sucked.
Not two.
Boo Earns.
Free February.
Well, there was some good things, but not the wrestling.
Yeah, but the thing is, every time they give us a free pay-per-view for the month, like meaning if you're not a subscriber, they just give you a shit pay-per-view, it seems like. Well, what was
Not
that?
necessarily. The last free pay-per-view was Survivor Series, which Sting debuted his WWE.
Yeah, but it still wasn't that solid of a pay-per-view, except for we
But
all
it
agreed it
needs
was the last
Sting.
match.
Needed Sting.
They just gotta cut the pay-per-view before WrestleMania thing. Just stop it.
Yeah.
Because you're not
Last year,
deciding anything.
They
You're
didn't
not
have a
doing
pay-per-view
anything.
before WrestleMania. Am I wrong, or was it Elimination Chamber?
They had them.
What?
Elimination Chamber was last year.
It was, yeah. Which
They
that
just
wouldn't
cut
even
it
be used,
because
probably.
it's not. It didn't do anything for WrestleMania. It didn't change anything. Like the tag titles changed. That's about it. Everything else, it did nothing. It was just they saved some promo things that they could have done on Raw last night. They used it on the pay-per-view, and then last night we got nothing. So,
Well,
they blew their promo load.
we'll kick it off the Authority versus Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, and Eric Rowan. Which the only
Throwaway.
it was a throwaway match just for Randy Orton to come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah, that's all the match was.
He's back.
Kick some ass and...
See,
He's back and pissed for one night, which we'll get to.
the thing is, I actually didn't realize it when I first saw it, but my friend noticed that the entire crowd was chanting Randy Orton right before he came out.
Yeah.
Which
That
I
was probably the only thing the entire crowd
Yeah,
was chanting
I
for
heard
the
that. I don't
entire
think I heard
fucking
the
match.
No, there was like two other chants.
Because that crowd was
That
terrible.
was the worst crowd. I said to my friend, I was like, "This is the worst crowd I've seen in my entire
Big
life."
crowd. Not a great event, though, to get you that into anyways.
But yet, Raw the next night was loud.
It wasn't even that loud. It was.
It was just louder than the fucking pay-per-view.
You would think Fastlane was in Memphis. That's one of the birthplaces of wrestling.
And they shit on it. They didn't say
no,
one
they didn't
word.
even shit on it. They just stood there, and were like, "Oh,
I actually think just standing there doing nothing is worse than shitting on it.
Yeah.
'Cause it's almost like...
there's no reaction
Yeah.
to anything."
Yeah.
At least shitting on it, you're at least voicing your opinion that this sucks, give us something
They must
better.
have missed their Jerry Lawler, that's why. There's no King.
Well, he was.
No, he was there
he
last
was a
night.
commentary,
He was a
on
commentary.
Fastlane.
He was there.
For sure.
He was?
Yeah,
he's
he's on.
always
He does
James, JBL, and Michael Cole.
Just for
Booker
SmackDown.
T wasn't?
No,
He was on the pre-show. He always
see,
is.
that's how bad this pay-per-view was.
You don't even know who's announcing it.
Well, no, where we watch, it's so fucking loud because motherfuckers just screaming the whole time.
It's true.
Where'd you guys go?
We were at our typical Sunday night pay-per-view place,
And people just are not.
It's just
interested in
there's so many of us. There's about 12, 13 of us in one basement, and about a handful of us actually watch it and care about what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say that. Like, if you're not that into wrestling, I wouldn't be sucked into what's going on anyway. So
that is very true. And
this is not the current like WWE that will draw non-fans into it. If you don't like wrestling,
another shitty build up to WrestleMania already.
Well, we'll continue on just to breeze.
And then just the Authority gets the win there,
Which I didn't
yes,
understand.
they did.
It wasn't just a win; it was kind of an.
I know. It's kind of.
Didn't Ziggler get pinned too?
Because he got knocked out. Yeah, on top.
Listen, it was.
What do they think?
It was only made for that to happen for Randy Orton to come back.
They didn't need to win for Randy Orton to come back.
I agree.
They could have lost, and they could have beat them down at the end of the match, and Randy Orton comes back.
I agree, but this is the... Well, I mean, if you think that's what happened, that's exactly what happened, because Team Ziggler lost, and...
They still got the shit kicked out of them.
The Authority decided to kick the shit out of everybody anyway.
Rollins is like the sneaky guy who will lose or cheat to win, and...
Agreed.
He doesn't...
Absolutely.
Yes, he doesn't need to win. And Big Show and Kane need to retire, so they don't need to win. So there's no reason for that team to win.
I don't see them retiring Big Show or Kane anytime soon.
I know, but they
pisses
need
me
to.
off.
It's just
Like,
terrible.
you know, I understand it's a heel thing with the whole security, and, you know, that's fine. I understand that concept. But the fact that they're getting involved in, like, 5-star matches, and just, like, literally, like... Well, 5-star. Okay, but that Raw, though, against Ziggler. That was great, and then what happened? J&J, like that was.
But you don't think
because
that's
it was a great
just
match.
I think
heel,
part of this
though.
is Vince, which could be a recurring theme of the night.
Because it's fucking him. He's
Part of
doing-
this is Vince, and he thinks it's funny that these two small guys get their ass beat every
he's
week.
going
and
back
it's
to
comedy.
Briscoe, Pat
Pat
It's
Patterson,
adding
yeah.
comedy, and
Exactly.
I feel like
The Stooges.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Stardust, Goldust.
Don't even start with that.
All right.
Not
Fucking-
a terrible match.
It
The ending
wasn't a
sucked.
terrible match. The ending
every
we
match.
thought at first was botched. Because it didn't look like the
Yeah,
ref
the
meant
ref
to
did
go for that
not
third
know
count.
when the match was supposed to end. 1, 2, and he holds his hand up,
And it just
and
went-
then he lets it go, and he's like, "Oh
Which
shit, they're not kicking
caused
out."
confusion
I saw
for
his
us.
elbow.
It caused confusion for Stardust. I'm guaranteed it caused confusion for Goldust.
The ref didn't know the ending. What the fuck is that? He has an earpiece in his ear.
I honestly don't think that they communicated well to him on that one.
But the ref didn't know it was supposed to end this.
Stardust in that outfit
Yeah,
with the whole top cut off, everything, with just the gloves and the tights. That's what I want to see. That no,
You like to see him
like,
shirtless, huh?
in my opinion.
Let me see them titties.
In my opinion, and I said this during the pay-per-view. I said, this is Stardust evolution back to Cody Rhodes. And I was like, it would be cool if he loses a piece of Stardust every other match, until
So then he
Face
starts-
paint gonna slowly dissolve.
So he
No,
only wears
no.
half the face paint after
he
a while?
loses. You guys are fucking dicks. He loses the entire face paint. He loses.
He no longer wears pants at all. He just wrestles
He
naked.
never.
Oh,
He
baby.
he never wore pants.
He's
He-
gonna
he
do
wore-
Zack Ryder where he had one pad at one time.
God.
Listen. Obviously, I was wrong because he came back on Monday
We're just
night wearing
trolling your
fucking
ass.
tights and shit. But I thought it was something cool, as in like he was saying
He has
Cody's
different-
dead, Cody's dead, this and that. But he comes out at Fastlane, not as Stardust. He's missing a piece
Well, he
of
shouldn't wear the
Stardust.
same fucking top that Goldust wears.
But he's missing a piece of
That's pretty
Stardust.
He's finally getting his own identity.
He's getting his own identity away from Stardust.
and then he came out the next night.
And then he came out the next night
Wearing it,
exactly as
so-
Stardust.
Erase
Goldust.
that.
But, you know, it was... I thought it was a good idea.
And they had a promo after the match.
Goldust won by roll-up.
Roll up. Love him, roll
My
up.
homies! Can't top that! The Usos versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, which...
Well, you didn't talk about it backstage.
So,
you want
yeah.
Oh,
Dusty Rhodes?
Dusty
Beat him up.
Rhodes and...
Kicked him into a thing and threw
Well,
some
Dusty
punches.
Rhodes...
No.
Stardust beat up Goldust,
Yeah, no,
threw him into the thing, and then he told Dusty, "You're dead."
You're dead. You're dead.
My thumb.
I thought that already
Don't
happened.
do that, son.
I thought.
He did. I guess they were just reiterating it.
I know. I mean, I know he can't do anything. Obviously, he's not. You know.
Well, you didn't know that last week.
But no, but he just stand there. He's like, remember when?
I didn't
remember
like
when,
that either.
Shut the fuck. Okay. Remember when Kane, Tombstone, this is what we
Kane,
said-
Tombstone, go ahead.
Daniel Bryan, and
Okay.
Seth was like, "Stop," Don't do that.
Well,
What is Stephanie McMahon? That's a
I'm
big
saying, no, but-
difference.
No, but what is though?
Stephanie
Because-
McMahon against Kane.
Stephanie McMahon versus Kane or Dusty Rhodes breaking apart his sons
Children.
that are fighting. That's a lot different. That's not
No,
comparable.
but, see that, but I'm saying, all right.
Your argument's
The
invalid.
size is different, obviously, but I'm talking about how.
Way different.
Size
Shut
matters.
the fuck up. Dusty was like, I'm getting really angry because they don't let me fucking talk.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm
You
trying
are.
to listen, but like
You are. You're the only one.
you're hurting my brain. It's hurting right now.
It's hurt.
What is the comparison?
No,
go ahead.
fucking
No,
done.
no,
I'm
no.
done.
No,
Stephanie
I-
McMahon's gonna pedigree Kane through a table with her tits falling
Right
out.
over.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare hurt Daniel Bryan!
I'm sorry. That's just
Sorry, go ahead. What's your point? What's
No,
your
No,
point?
no, no.
I'm
I
done.
really want to know what your point
I'm
was for
done.
that.
I'm done. You go into the next match or segment, whatever happens next. I hate you all. I really do. I'm leaving the podcast next week.
Can we still use your house?
No! You're not allowed. You sit in the cold. Just sit in Dan's car and go to Ronkonkoma and do the show.
Hey,
for all I
yeah,
care.
that was a great show.
great
That was-
show.
That was a
For all
fantastic
I
show.
care.
We got a good crew.
Yeah, you, him, and Wendy.
Yeah. The Usos versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd.
Yeah.
Curveball. Fucking curveball.
Yeah.
I was
Curveball.
going to pick them originally too, and everyone yelled
You
at me,
know-
so I said no.
I don't want Usos
Regret
being
it.
champions anymore.
Everyone here picked the Usos
Yeah.
for it. We all picked the Usos.
Yeah, I'm glad they're not champions anymore, but who's they going to face at WrestleMania? There's no face teams.
I honestly think WrestleMania is going to be a fatal 4-way tag team match.
Ugh.
As many times as we've seen
And it's
it,
going to be two guys in the ring, and you can tag random teams.
And
I
who
hate
you-
that.
But what are the
Get that
what
out
are
of
the teams
here.
you think are going to be in there? You're going to have
Usos, Cesaro,
They're
and
not going
Tyson
to do
Kidd.
Fatal 4 because there's already going to be a Fatal 4 and Continental title match, probably. But
We'll get to that in a moment.
Maybe. But if it is
Part-time players.
Usos, no, Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, the Ascension.
Ooh. I'm happy about that. I like them.
Maybe Primetime players.
Who would be the other one? Stardust and Goldust are done. Biz and Biz are done.
don't say
No, they're not.
PTP.
He already said
Don't
four.
Don't say
He already said four.
PTP.
said that.
Primetime players.
I gave it to
Millions,
you.
millions of dollars.
They're the only face team other than the Usos right now. Think about it. They're
That
the
is
only
true.
ones.
That is true.
So who are Tyson Kidd and Cesaro going to face?
You can't
The
put prime,
equal sign.
you can't put primetime players into a WrestleMania unless it's like a
A fatal 4-way match.
either Fatal 4-Way or it's got to be a
Pre-show.
pre-show card.
But
It's-
Dan thinks the Intercontinental title is going to be the pre-show.
which
No,
it could
no,
be.
No,
I didn't
that
say
would
for
never-
sure, but I
No,
said
that
would
would
never
I wouldn't
happen.
rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out.
It
That-
was last year, wasn't it?
It was WrestleMania 29.
29 it was, Miz versus
Barrett.
Wade Barrett. We were there. We saw it.
I don't
And then-
think they're
and
going to
then-
put Dean Ambrose on the pre-show. I really don't.
It's
Miz
gonna be
won at
fatal.
WrestleMania, and then the next night he lost. to
Yeah,
Barrett.
yep.
that was the dumbest
Fucking
thing.
stupid.
That was
Fucking
dumb. I would have been
shit.
pissed if I was Miz. Fuck that.
Sting Triple H confrontation.
Comes out with the leather
Uh,
jacket.
I got a couple problems. here.
fist taped.
It didn't go as bad as I thought it was going to.
Right. It
I
wasn't bad.
have a couple problems with this. I want to see if it's the same as Dan.
I mean, I'm still into it because I'm
Yeah,
really into this feud.
I
like
want to
it.
hear what your ideas are. Because like I said, it wasn't
Well,
as bad
I
as
mean,
I thought, but it
when a
wasn't
guy's
good.
holding the sledgehammer in his hand and a guy has a bat to his neck, first of all, they're acting like a bat's a gun. When he's holding it to his neck, he's like, what is he going to do? He's got to pull it back to swing. What's he going to push? What's he going to do? He doesn't have a trigger on the bat.
Can we?
And his
can we
face
also
looked
go-
like it was a gun, by the way.
Triple H is holding a sledgehammer right here while he's holding a bat here. All Triple H has to do is go, boom!
Yep.
Done.
That was one
That's
of my
all I do.
issues.
Well, for the listeners, just hit him in the head with a sledgehammer. He's holding it right up to his head, near his head. There's no
Did
reason
that-
to drop the sledgehammer.
Well, sledgehammer over bat wins any day of the week.
Triple H
Is it
loves
just
dropping
me?
the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or that bat looked like it was like a wiffle ball bat?
It did.
Yeah, no.
It did.
well,
It
yeah,
did.
It had like writing on it. It
but
looked like it was a
I
wiffle
must
ball bat.
say I did
Yeah.
mark out for the bat because we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, he's got a hidden huge bat pocket.
Oh
in his
come on!
trench coat.
Triple H came back one night and
With
he had the
sledgehammer
fucking
in
sledgehammer
his
in
pants.
his back pocket.
Yeah, it was in his
In his
pants and
pants.
underneath the jacket.
And I'll remember that's like one of my first matches I've ever watched with my friends Chucky, who makes our theme song, and his girlfriend and our friends Danny and I go, Triple H definitely has a sledgehammer in his back pocket. Just totally bullshitting. And bam, there it is. Triple H out of the back pocket, sledgehammer. I forgot what
You
was
didn't see a
happening.
hammer hanging
because
out of the back of his jacket?
He was
No,
wearing
it
a
was
leather
wearing the leather jacket, the leather and
You
denim
see it
jacket.
sticking out.
No,
No,
you,
it
you,
didn't.
you
Back.
saw nothing.
It
You
was
saw
in the
absolutely nothing, and I don't remember what it was for, but
Was it for one is Orton?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yes, it was when Orton was attacking the McMahons.
This is
and he came
before
out.
I started. I got back into wrestling.
Because he came out and he took it out and he kind of like held it like this.
No,
And
he
No.
didn't even do that. He just
He
slid
just
into
did-
the ring and just pulled it out of his back. And
I
it
need
was
to
like,
see this.
Bam!
I
I
need
believe
to
it
watch
wasn't
this.
it right
I
after
gotta-
I
Orton
gotta-
attacked Stephanie,
I'll
like
have to-
handcuffed her and kissed her?
I have to find out with the other guys, but
Dan looks confused.
what is
I don't know.
this is
The fact that Sting didn't say anything, I liked. It kind
No.
of
No.
made.
No.
No.
No, because they're doing this mysterious thing, but he's not that anymore. He's not coming down
But
from the
it's just-
rafters.
Jose,
No,
Also,
one
his entrance, it needs to be more epic.
Yes,
it's
it
just
does.
like it's just like an
Really?
old dude walking
Wait.
out with a crow.
Wait.
Hold on, though. My point was going to be with him not saying anything. It's kind of going to. I know it's hated, but it's going to that old WCW thing because he would never make a comment when he was fighting NWO.
Yes, I
He would just
understand
pop out, use the bat, and that was it.
I understand
It
that,
was
but
kind of him.
but it's not WCW anymore.
I know.
It's a WWE.
But they're playing onto that WCW.
But how?
Which I fucking said last week. I'm sorry I
Why'd you have to
interrupted
say
by
that,
me.
man?
So
I'm going to stop it there. We'll
Okay,
stop
no,
it
no.
there. But I said
But
last week.
how much longer can you go without Sting not saying one word?
He will talk before WrestleMania.
I think
I
that's the
guarantee it.
plan.
He should have talked at Fastlane.
I think Fastlane was just setting the mood for it.
The
But
mood
it was
set.
just-
Set the
No,
mood.
boy.
It's a Survivor
But wait,
Series.
but wait. I think the reason why they did.
The mood.
I think the reason why they
The
did that.
ambiance.
The lights
Barry
were
White
dim.
on,
Right,
lights
sorry,
and
go ahead.
candles.
I think the only logical thing I can think of is why they did no talk Sting for Fastlane was that they wanted to get Triple H angrier. Like, alright, why you here? You're not gonna say anything. Alright, you say something and kick the shit out of you. You're not gonna say anything now. Now I'm kicking the shit out of you. I think that was just to make Triple H be like, "Well, hey, it's cool. I can make you a legend. I can put toys out there. I can put T-shirts. Oh, you're gonna disrespect me, not say anything, and stare at me." All right, now like that's. I think that's the reason why they not talk.
But what is,
Do I think
what
he's
is,
gonna talk
what is
before
Sting's
me? I hope
motivation?
so.
That's what I want to
I
know.
think
They're not
Oh,
giving
we all
us that.
do, but I don't know
I
if
think
he's gonna
Triple
come out and
H.
just
They
spit a
realize
promo.
Triple H is 10 times the talker that Sting is.
Yes.
So why are you gonna have Sting do something that's not his strength? He's gonna look bad talking against Triple H. Triple H is gonna make him look bad talking. So Sting has the mysterious thing on his side. So don't let him talk. I want him to talk, but I can see why they think that.
That's like not letting Brock Lesnar talk, right?
That's like
We all know Brock Lesnar is bad at cutting promos.
That's like
He's
not
bad at-
letting the Undertaker come on Raw at all until WrestleMania 31. Spoiler alert. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, we'll get into that later.
Is that rumored or is that confirmed that he will not
That's
be
It's
on?
not confirmed.
it's-
It's not
it's rumored.
confirmed. But he's not
It's a
advertised
legend.
for
It's a
anything,
legend.
and it's
But I hope it's not
the
true.
Wrestling Observer, which usually is
That is not a good
Paige
call.
versus Nikki Bella.
Oh, God.
I can see it happening though. the Undertaker.
Oh God.
We'll get up to
Oh
that.
God. Really? Am I the only one who liked this match?
It was pretty good.
He had spots.
Eh?
We saw a fucking Alabama slam.
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Did you
The
see
most
that? No, wait.
brutal Alabama slam that I've seen in
Wait, did you
decades.
see that on the WWE camera, or did you see that in that new hidden post goalie camera they have?
Let me tell you,
Stupid.
I
hate that camera.
It's something new, but it's
No,
weird.
we talked about it because last year they said WrestleMania was going to be WrestleMania 32 or 31. We're at 31.
yeah.
31.
Well, there's no
is-
number. It's just a play button.
Yeah,
but,
whatever. It's going to be an
WrestleMania play.
It's going to
Play
be
button.
an interactive WrestleMania.
Okay.
What the fuck does that mean?
I have no idea.
We learned that at Fastlane. The ring posts have cameras on it, right?
Well, the turnbuckles.
No,
have-
and the turnbuckles.
Oh,
the
I
ring
didn't know
posts and the turnbuckles have cameras on it.
Which I don't understand
Which
how.
the only thing that makes sense in my mind.
That's why the
let-
ring
let me-
posts were rounded. And
let me- yeah.
Not
yes.
that though. Not that.
Let me finish, and you guys can go on with whatever. Which makes me think that during WrestleMania 31, you'll be able to go online and click. Let me look at ring post 1. Let me look at ring post
That's
2.
not good.
That's not
3,
That's not good.
4, turnbuckle
I'm not
1,
saying it's not gonna
turnbuckle.
happen. That's
No.
not good for wrestling, though.
It's not good for wrestling because
is
you.
meant to be seen
see-
from the angle that
Yes.
they tell you to watch it. If I
It's not
see
good for
them
wrestling?
whispering in each other's
Yes,
ear, I'm
exactly.
like, why'd they
That's
show
the
that angle?
only
I don't
thing
want to
that's
see
bad
that.
about it.
I don't like when I see that.
But maybe they're trying to teach the superstars to cut down on the whole
Talk.
talking in the corners, this and that.
No, they
Talk
need
while holding each other in a
That's
headlock
better. When they
on the
script-
mat.
When they script everything and everything's planned, I like that when they go with shit and talk to each other and just make shit up on the
I
fly.
agree. I
That's
agree.
the best.
See, here's the thing though.
But you don't want to see it on the
It's-
wrong angle.
You don't want to see it.
I
yeah,
thought
so
it
they
was-
have cameras everywhere.
Which we'll get to the John Cena Rusev.
I
match.
thought it was
Yes.
pretty cool when they showed it on the replay. Like,
Yes.
there's something
Yes,
new. You're like,
absolutely.
oh, that's
Yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah,
It's a new gimmick.
But
It's like,
I don't.
That's
you know,
like in the ladder match where they have the camera at the
Yeah,
top
yeah,
of
yeah.
it,
I
and you
like
see
this
them
as
going
that.
up. It's like that.
I do like that.
Which is
So
awesome,
do I support the whole
Laura
me
was hitting upon the
clicking?
other night.
Do I support the whole me clicking random things? No, because I'm here to watch it on one screen and
But see-
not be like, oh, let me look at my computer my
Okay.
phone for a second.
I'll stop you there. Which is the young kids to wrestling. They're brought up computers. They're brought up entertainment systems, TVs, this and that. We're brought up on just watching wrestling. You know, just watching what wrestling is for. The sportsmanship and all that crap. That's what we watched it for. But the kids nowadays are more into their computers. They're more into their phones. They're more into the PS4s, the Xbox Ones, the Xbox 360s, PS3s. So they're going to be like, hey, we have this option for you guys to watch if you want to. Because kids still growing up, they don't know it's scripted. I mean, yes, we live in the ages of the internet where you could just...
Find out a whole
Google.
pay-per-view before the pay-per-view.
Daniel Bryan loses to Roman Reigns. What happens next? Enter. And you have a plethora of theories and everything like that, and it's just...
I mean, I can see it for the kids. Yeah,
It's ruined the product.
You know,
Them being the whole social media and every wrestler being on social media, and we'll get into this later, which just causes problems within the business and within wrestlers of each other, and it's just...
Yeah,
But-
but is it problems or is it like a voice or a channel for people that
yes.
won't fucking backstage will not fucking say anything
That-
and they feel intimidated?
Yes, it is that. It's a voice for the wrestler, him or herself. But regardless, it will end up in a problem for the company.
I was about to say, because you're saying, like, not feeling intimidated by it, but, like, let's say Dolph Ziggler tweets something about the company. It's still being said by Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Meaning, there will be repercussions if they want to do repercussions.
I
If
wonder
they
if
didn't like
they're
what he
gonna-
said, they could punish him.
Yeah, but if he
because they know
posts a
Dolph Ziggler did.
sarcastic tweet, it's different than him going to Vince McMahon's office and saying, "This fucking sucks."
Yeah, but I think
Like,
that's actually worse for the company, and they'll punish him more for that for one reason. One is if you go to Vince's office and say, "Vince, this idea blows. What the hell are you doing?" That's why you say it to Vince, and Vince in private. All of a sudden, you know, Ziggler goes over and tweets it. Let's say he's got 2 million followers, hypothetically. That's no longer a private thing.
because they want to get the people behind them, the wrestlers. They don't care more. They care more about
do you
getting
think
the people
he's
behind
gotten
them.
any repercussions for his me versus you, Daniel Bryan tweets?
No.
No.
Or you think they're actually
That's-
going with that because
I don't know if they're going to go
I think that was just hopeful. You know how many times Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler were tweeting that they wanted to face each other at WrestleMania like 2 years ago? It's just hopeful tweets.
It's
not
hopeful, but the only way to do it is making one a heel at this point. And how do you make one a heel and who?
They're just trying to build hype. He's just trying to build hype for it so he gets a better Mania match versus Daniel Bryan.
I think Daniel Bryan would be the better heel to do it. I feel like
No.
I think no. The reason why is because, like you said in the chat earlier, he's if he goes into the main event, he's gonna be like the crybaby one at the event where I didn't get my way. I mean yada
but
yada. I should be my
But this
shot.
guy's
I really,
mainstream. They're chanting his chant at different sports arenas around the country. You
Yeah,
can't
but
turn him heel.
You've chosen your path with your champion. I mean, you're not like, Daniel Bryan, like, we're gonna be like real and let you actually fight out for your championship. Like, they already have their winner between Reigns and Lesnar. I mean, at least Daniel Bryan.
We don't know that yet.
If they're gonna put Daniel Bryan in the main event in Triple Threat and have him
No,
win it, I'd be shocked.
I'm not even saying Daniel Bryan. I'm
How do you
saying
know
Brock
that Roman
Lesnar
Reigns-
because Brock Lesnar might not be going back to the UFC. There's about an 75 to 85% chance that he's not going back to the UFC.
Which means, what does he do? I don't think he's got enough money where he can just retire. And
Well,
fight out now.
I don't know if we're going to talk about this now, but he's having problems with WWE now, so...
Well, we'll bring in
We'll get on to that at Raw.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Paige versus Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship might have been one of the best matches of the night.
One of, okay. There
One
was-
of. There were
It
definitely...
could be the second best match of the
It
night,
could
or
be.
third, because there was a lot of bad matches, in
But-
my opinion.
It was
Bad endings,
We'll
especially.
get on to a
Bad
bad match right now.
endings.
Dean Ambrose versus Bad News Barrett.
Yeah, it was bad.
What was the
John.
disqualification for?
Garbage.
I don't even know. I really
I don't
don't.
understand what that was. Why was it stopped? What was the DQ?
Dean Ambrose
Ambrose wouldn't stop.
back off. The ref kept telling him to.
All right.
It wasn't a bad match before that.
No,
I mean,
it was a good match, but it was a Bad News Barrett strong match.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. Which ended up Dean Ambrose getting DQ'd because Bad News Barrett was yelling at him when he was down in the corner in the turnbuckle, yelling at him, spitting at him, this and that, doing heel things. This is a heel thing for Bad News Barrett.
Trying to run away from him.
Trying to run away from him, and it just made Dean Ambrose snap to the point where he was just like, I don't give a shit, I want to beat the crap out of you. Which made him eventually lose the match. Which in my eyes
But
makes
how many
Bad News...
times can we see this from Dean
But
Ambrose?
it makes Bad News Barrett look much more like a heel than he was before going into this match.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it makes Dean Ambrose look like a fool, like they've been doing for how many months?
I agree.
Pretty much since the Shield broke
But
up.
that plays
He's
into
turned
the
to
whole
just comedy,
lunatic fringe
comedy
thing.
psycho.
I'm going to take your title and run away with it.
It's one thing to be a lunatic and be like, oh shit, you don't know what he's gonna do next, but he's like a serious fighter. But then when you make him like end matches with like comedy finishes, a screen blowing up in his face,
Oh, God. Do we even have to bring that back up?
well, I did. But yeah, it's still terrible to me, and I don't know. I thought this was gonna be a good wrestling match, and it was not.
It wasn't a
I thought
bad
this was
match
gonna be
until
one
the
of the
ending.
big three matches.
Yeah.
There's the big three matches and the rest, and
The ending was
It
what
wasn't.
killed it for me. I was enjoying the match until the ending.
Yeah.
But we will agree they have great chemistry together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can say that.
Which will bring it on to WrestleMania the couple weeks leading
maybe
up to WrestleMania.
hopefully they add like
Yeah,
10 more
maybe,
guys in
maybe.
the match. Maybe not, but we'll see.
All of a sudden,
What?
Undertaker's theme song starts playing.
No, yeah, it's
Holy crap.
I got
Yeah,
excited. I'm not going to lie. I did
No,
get a little...
I got
We
excited.
did too.
I got excited, but I didn't think it was The Undertaker.
Yeah,
I thought it was a chance.
I
I thought it
knew.
was a
I
small
was like,
chance.
this is awesome.
I knew
There
as
was
soon
a
as the
chance.
casket was rolling out, it was not the Undertaker.
yeah, because it was
Yeah, of
small.
course, yeah.
Yes.
Even before that,
Yeah,
when,
that's
like,
the only reason
when
why.
the Druids are coming out and that song's playing, I'm like, he's not gonna come back at Fastlane. Like, this is probably
I
Bray
will
Wyatt.
tell you, out of the
But I
13
did
people
believe it.
in that basement we were in, it was silent.
Yeah, but not everyone thought it was Undertaker because Borak would shut the lights off with Undertaker.
He would've.
He always does.
And it's true.
cute.
It's true. No, he
didn't shut the
really
lights
does.
off. He's an
It's,
Undertaker fan.
that's how crazy the 13 of us are during pay-per-views. Like,
Well, not all 13.
well,
just
not
some
all
watch and
13.
Just keep
well,
talking. But
Stelios just watches.
I mean, I've done it
He looks
before,
at
but I don't know
the
how long it's been since I've done it.
No, but
When I was like a little younger, I did
it's
it.
just insane. Like, we...
yeah, it was cool.
It was a cool little promo. It was a
cool
good little
thing.
spot.
He
Yeah.
finally said the words, The
Yeah, he
Undertaker.
finally said that,
Yeah.
finally.
It's the first time
And
he's
I
ever
just saw
said
the
it.
people that are like, "Oh my god, are you gonna call it the Undertaker?" Like, where have you been the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks that he's been cutting his promos?
Nailing a
Find
coffin
me, nailing a
together.
coffin, dead. I mean, like, having hell, like, it's
This
so
was
obvious.
This was my number one moment of the pay-per-view. I would
Yes.
say.
Oh, I would agree with you 110%. Best moment.
I had like my top 4 things I listed from the pay-per-view, and this was one. Then it was like Sting Triple H. Then Paige's top almost falling off.
That
that was
Then the main event.
was great.
Was main event barely got in the top 4, but you know. But again, I guess we're not going to talk about Raw, but like it was cool, but they could have saved it for Raw maybe because on a pay-per-view you're expecting to watch matches or advertised. for
But
the
they
pay-per-view.
already know that the first 3 matches weren't that great, so they probably. Well, I mean, I'm not saying they were expecting it to be bad, but
You could have done Seth Rollins versus
You
Dolph
wanna- but think of it,
Ziggler
though.
on pay-per-view, and maybe
but think of it though,
Can't
you
make
are
sure
a
versus
new-
Rowan and Ryback.
You are a new fan, and you're watching with your friend who's like been watching, for years, and all of a sudden they cut that promo. They're gonna be like, "Yo, what's going on? These people coming out with a casket? This is a sick pay per view. Like it's pay per view material." And again,
Plus
Raw,
with the Druids and...
they can have so much more
Torches.
shit done on Raw.
yeah, but we didn't.
Would
get,
you be
we
surprised
didn't-
if Bray Wyatt came
we
out?
didn't
on a
get what we
fucking
were-
Spoiler alert:
thing?
we didn't get much in regards to storylines on Raw.
No, I
we
know.
didn't.
That I'm saying before
We got
Raw.
more storylines on pay-per-view. Pay-per-view
All right,
Raw.
Well, we'll
Raw
get to this once we hit Raw. John Cena versus Rusev for the United States Championship.
Not a terrible match at all. I enjoyed
I
it.
didn't like it.
I hated
Really?
I hated it. It was all rest holds, sleeper.
Yes.
Weigh him down, weigh him down. There was no wrestling. Rusev is athletic, Cena's strong too, and pretty athletic. They could
they
put on a
done
good
more.
match.
They did put on a couple decent moves. Like, first of all, a guy like Rusev to do that beautiful of a drop kick right after Cena did it to him, that was really
It
impressive.
just felt like I was watching a match with like Big Show and Kane. It was just too slow. Like it
The
was,
only thing that killed
slow
me
pace.
for this match was Cena's calling of the match. You heard everything he was
Yes.
saying.
And when the accolade was
Yeah,
being put
but
on it, you could see Rusev in Cena's ear talking to him. Like, verbally saying, like, sentences. It's like, what are you doing? You're not...
But that I'm blaming the camera people because I heard during Paige Nikki Bella too. I heard Paige telling her what to do. Nikki Bella, like telling her to like hit her or something. I heard that on the camera. Like they need to. That's WWE's fault. The microphones are on too loud. We hear everything too much. I hear a guy in the front row saying,
And Raw.
"Yeah, what the fuck was he saying?"
Was it Raw? No, it was Fastlane where he was like, "He's got a point, Triple H," or like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Triple H is talking about
Yes,
how the
dude.
merchandise. He's like, he's got a point, Sting. Like, if I hear people in the front row, you got your microphones on too
Yep.
loud.
wait.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear every little slap times 10, all right?
Yep.
Just because
You
they're
know-
not slapping, like,
Now it's
Unless it's Ric Flair's.
now it's
back in the day.
right?
Or
Now that
Benoit.
Sting's name came back up. How do we how do you talk about the Raw before? I mean, obviously, let's say different crowds. Obviously, the Raw before, everyone's going nuts. We want Sting, fine. Pay per view. You all are. Everyone in that arena wanted Sting. They were not loud about it. Like, we want Sting. Maybe one or two chants faint. Sting comes out. That place is silent.
That
I know the crowd's silent all night, but at least
arena
for
was the
one
worst
thing,
arena for wrestling.
it is.
for one,
But that's going to
for
happen.
Sting,
You got to
You're
expect
gonna
that's
put the
going to
other
happen.
matches?
A guy that hasn't
that
been
was
on
bad though.
a major wrestling TV show in
But
like 15
everyone's been
years,
going
if you think
crazy
about
about
it.
Sting,
Well,
and now all of a
yeah.
sudden, like, they want to be quiet during one of the biggest, spots
It's a problem
on the
they're
thing.
having with Sting right now. He's a legend, but
No, but Sting
a
gets
lot of
pops
it's not
on
relevant.
walls like
It's not-
nothing.
It's not relevant.
From older people. If you got a young crowd in there, because like you said, Dan,
no, it's I'm not comparing.
Dan,
I'm
what did
comparing
you say?
Raw and pay per view.
yeah, but what I'm saying is,
He
if
hasn't
you have
been
an
in
older
a
crowd,
like, relevant wrestling company. top
WCW went
relevant.
down what 2002?
Yeah, and
14?
2001, and they weren't
14
relevant
years
then.
ago.
So it was like
But he's not
99 when
fighting,
the series
though.
was down.
Yeah.
He's not fighting until Mania. He's just coming out, and like people, he's been getting these
But
raw
if you
pops.
have a young audience, a really young, heavy audience, meaning there's not a lot of guys in the 20s, 30s, or 40s. It's mostly kids and stuff.
But okay,
And
I
it's
have no
also,
idea who
think
Sting
about
is.
it. When The Undertaker comes out, does anyone pop? It's a mysterious
No, they were-
atmosphere.
they
The
were-
crowd is
they were
silent.
loud for
So
that.
Sting is kind
No,
of...
they were.
No, when they had the
Sting's
when they had the
character
gong.
is not like a, I'm gonna pop
hold on.
character. It's like,
Hold on, but no,
oh shit, the darkness
No, but
is
wait.
coming out. It shouldn't be the pop.
But when they had
He
the
should be
Undertaker gong,
mysterious.
It's the awe that they.
when they had the Undertaker's
be.
gong, it was just. But I was thinking, Undertaker was a surprise. Even on Bray Wyatt, it was a surprise. No one saw it coming.
They still
So that's
didn't-
why-
they still didn't pop.
But they
that
were
out.
louder than Sting.
The
though.
loudest pop of the night is no matter what. I don't care what anyone says. It's Dean Ambrose,
Yeah.
Yes.
and it's been Dean Ambrose in a lot of arenas for a while now.
We'll get back to the Cena Rusev. The only thing that pissed me off was Cena passing out to this.
Well,
Yeah,
it
what
wasn't
do
a way you
though?
really.
What do you
gonna-
expect?
You knew he was
Like
gonna tap-
Swagger. Like fucking Sheamus, whoever the fuck they put in front of him,
Big
passed
Show.
out. Come
I don't know
on.
if I can
Henry.
compare him to
Cena
them.
You really think
is
Cena was gonna get
quote
pinned?
unquote stronger than all those guys. He's
Cena
better.
can't tap out. His character
Yeah.
has never tapped out since
He
he's
never
been
quit, he never gave up.
2005 once he's become this character.
And you really
as
think he's
champion.
gonna just lose clean slate pin? No.
What? He's done it before.
Yeah.
Cena has lost.
And Rusev doesn't really have a
But-
move that would finish.
But what was
on
his
a
really
pin.
last clean
The
finish?
super
Think
kick.
about that. Yeah.
Daniel Bryan at some
Which
point.
was for
Yeah.
the championship. This wasn't. This was for the championship, but it was a U.S. title. It wasn't the World Heavyweight
I don't like
Championship.
it, but I could see.
And
that.
plus, Cena also had that fucking
I'm glad Rusev
golf
won.
ball on his
You gotta
arm.
just be
I
happy
mean,
for that. It goes in the books as a submission victory for Rusev.
Instead of a DQ loss or a count out loss for him, which is what we all, I think, thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
As I said, he says never give up. Well, he didn't give up. His mind didn't give up, but his body gave up. So that counts to me.
Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan.
What was
It was a pretty good match.
It was
Yeah,
entertaining.
There was some things that
The beginning was very slow,
Yes.
but towards the end, it started
Yeah, it picked up.
picking up.
And I wish
fast.
that it had maybe a little bit more time. I wish we could get a little bit more fight out of Daniel Bryan there. I knew Reigns was going to win, but when he hits the spear and it's like, it's over right there, I'm like, oh, I wish there was some way. Maybe not he kicks out, but maybe something happened where the ref was knocked out. Like, the ref gets knocked out somehow, and then he hits a spear, and he can't pin him. Something to make it go a little more.
I
feel
disagree.
like
I kind of wish he was going to kick out of the spear just to make it that epic. Like, no, they even said it. No one's ever kicked out of Daniel
but they're
Bryan's
not going to
flying
make someone
knee.
kick out of the spear, considering what they want for him.
Yeah, I
You
know.
gotta think like
It's
That's
that.
right.
kind of weird to say this, but I actually call that ending like not like in the game match, obviously, but saying when it was just about to happen, I went to my friend's girlfriend. I was like, "Listen, Daniel Bryan's going," and like it's getting late. Daniel Bryan's going for a running knee. It's going to turn into a spear. She's like, "No, it's not going to happen." I'm like,
That's
"Watch."
already happened, too.
And I said,
Yeah.
"Watch." Happened, and she goes,
It was a
"What
nice
the
spear,
fuck?"
though.
I'm like, "I'm sorry,
It
but
was-
WWE is that predictable."
Yeah.
It was a nice spear, though. I like
Tackle.
It was a nice one.
tackle. Yeah, midair tackle, whatever
It
you
was
call
a
it.
tackle. The tackle's like up here.
Yeah, it wasn't terribly done.
No.
It wasn't a bad match for what it
No.
was, though.
I will say right now that Roman Reigns was good.
I have to
I
say
can't
that
hate
it's
him.
probably one of his best
He also
singles
had.
matches.
He also had a
Well,
new
he's
move,
only
too.
had 2 singles matches on pay-per-view.
He also
He's
had
only
a nice
wrestled
new
Randy
move,
Orton and
yeah.
Daniel Bryan. 2 of the best. So, but yes, it takes 2 people. You have to admit it. It takes 2 people to have a good match. He did his part. He performed pretty well. You have to say that.
I give him his credit.
I
No.
don't give him his character his credit for his character and personality, but I mean he can't carry a good long match, but he can have a good match.
Yes.
He can't carry it. He can't put on a good match with a guy who's not.
I think
a
he needs.
top
I think
guy.
he needs that chemistry with the guy to do it though. Like
He needs an upper guy to
like
put
a
on
Randy
good match.
Orton could put on a match with anyone and make it good. Daniel Bryan.
He needs Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins.
Exactly.
That kind of.
Which kind of
Worker,
scares me.
put on a very good
That kind of
match.
scares me with Brock Lesnar with
Exactly.
him because Brock Lesnar is not that kind of guy who can make any match look.
And Brock
good.
Lesnar, which we'll get to, is a little annoyed.
Yes.
We could get Brock Lesnar Goldberg too? Except
That's
only
okay.
one might be
That's
leaving
okay.
this time,
Yeah.
not 2.
Well, we'll move on to Raw, but I want to hit.
Oh,
Predictions,
let me just say
yeah.
with the main event, I'm really sick of this no selling of the moves. We did it for Brock Lesnar, no selling in AA. Okay, that's cool. He's the beast. But Roman Reigns was not selling moves.
No.
Like he was taking kicks and not selling it. Not even like holding his face, nothing. Like he'd pop up. And even I honestly think in my heart that Daniel Bryan had enough of the no selling. I'm wondering if Stone Cold's watching this. If Stone Cold's watching this, he's freaking out. He always freaks out that they don't sell anymore, and it's ridiculous.
Can I ask you a question now? Like with Roman Reigns pertaining to the this. Do you think it's him not selling it, or do you think it's creative?
Yeah, they're telling you
guys,
like,
don't
wait 2
flinch,
weeks,
don't even
sometimes take
flinch.
moves and just
Yeah,
bounce back and hit your move.
like look stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I honestly think at one point that Dan Bryan was fed up because Roman Reigns gave him a suplex on the outside of the ring where he landed on his neck pretty much. It was brutal.
Mhm.
And Dan Bryan popped
No.
right up. And in that moment, I was like, I think Daniel Bryan just went rogue right there. And he was like, you know what? He's not selling moves. I'm going to pop right up. And he threw him right in the steps.
They had 2
That
parts
was
of
the
match.
most brutal spot. WWE would want him to sell it. He has a neck injury. He's coming back from. He lands on his neck, and he pops right back up. That was not booked.
there was
That's
two-
not supposed to happen.
There was definitely I think 2 moments in that match where they looked like they were just wailing at each other. It was like I think Reigns. I think when they actually went back and forth, like Reigns was wailing on him. Daniel Bryan got it and he just started fucking pounding on him. He just started kicking him as hard as he could. Like he don't hold
They
back.
brought
and
out
just rammed
everything
it
for
to
those
him.
matches. That match.
So that was a really I
It
enjoyed
was-
that.
It was a good match.
As scared as I was, I admit that was a great match.
It was a good match. I mean, it doesn't convince me that Reigns should be like
No,
a champion
champion,
to
no.
beat Brock Lesnar. It convinces
But
me
he's
that
improved.
He could go up
He's-
against good guys.
He improved from where he
good
was.
wrestlers. I should say
it
good
convinced
wrestlers.
me that he's in the conversation
Yes.
of being near the top.
Shitty character, but good wrestler. Eventually.
which will bring me to our standings.
Can't wait for WrestleMania so we start
Oh
fresh.
man, yeah, great.
Start
Great.
fresh.
Yeah.
Good coming from the last place person,
Well,
Vinny.
I'm close
with
now.
You should have
10
done
and
it for the
16.
year. You should have stopped it at. You should have started a Rumble, do the year. But you know. whatever.
Well, I stopped at WrestleMania.
So the winner of 2000.
Well, WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl, so
Yeah.
we'll start as a new season.
Vinny is in last place
Fuck yourself.
at 10 and 16.
Fucking botch.
I'm right next to you.
Star
Matt
Wars.
I'm right next to you, baby.
Is in third,
I salvaged. the
11
night.
and 15.
I'm right up with you. Come on, come on.
Dan
I was
is
0-4 to start the
12
night.
and 8.
12 and 8, baby, like that.
The Rumble saved him. He went 5 and 0 at the
I'm
Rumble.
fine.
That's what happened.
Perfect.
And it's me. It's me.
It's GGP.
It's G. At 18 and 8.
Gasper and Giartown.
Wow.
2 G's.
Yes.
GGP.
Oh,
Alright,
okay.
whatever.
All right, cool. First place, 18 and 8. You
Blow
guys
me.
can't touch me.
Well, you know what? We have the same amount of losses, so I'm not behind you in the loss column.
Yeah, but you're 6 behind me in the win
I just
column.
gotta go perfect at Mania, which
And
is
Gas has to go like negative.
I can make up some ground in that battle royal.
You could.
Ooh.
You could. That's
That should be
true.
worth. That should be worth 2.
It's
If
very
you,
no.
if you get it.
No, the Rumble wasn't worth 2. Why would that?
Yeah,
No.
Maybe the Rumble should be worth
Ah,
it.
they give me another win. 'cause I got the Rumble right.
Battle Royal.
No.
We all get.
Raw recap, baby. Randy Orton promo kicks it off.
I know you guys don't want
Fucking
to
wreck
have
me.
me. Don't want to have me stand out here and give you a 20-minute promo. Yeah, no shit. All right. I love Randy Orton, but I don't want him talking on the microphone by
But
himself like
it
that.
turned into a 20-minute promo.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Or longer.
It felt like forever.
Randy Orton comes out, says he has a beef to settle with Seth Rollins, this and that, and the Authority comes out saying, "Hey, we should have a meeting about this. You don't want to do this, you know?"
Stupid shit. Stupid shit.
Yes.
Waste of our time.
Same old shit.
I get put out for 4 months. Sure, I'll go to the meeting and I won't attack the guy, even though the night before I'm RKOing everyone and chase the guy out of the arena almost. Well, he
Triple
didn't chase
H
him, but-
didn't say one word.
As Booker T said,
Yeah.
he had a 4-year-old son who sometimes gets the look that Triple H has. Little pouty.
Yeah. At first, I don't know why they did that. I don't know if that's because of Randy Orton. He's still mad about that.
No, I think I think they're
Or just
pushing
the
the Sting
Sting
thing. With at least that's what the announcers were leaning towards because they've said it multiple times. They think that he's pissed off and pouty about Sting getting his way.
And I didn't like it because it's like when they were doing that thing when Randy Orton was kicked out, he was the one who was like, no, he was on Randy Orton's side. And now he's like just sitting there not saying anything. I didn't like that. He should have been the one that wanted Randy Orton back. That's how it was. He didn't want to have to do that to Randy Orton.
He
was the one, Stephanie, he was looking distressed when he realized he had to do that to Randy Orton.
and when like they even showed it on the replay with it. You
And now
knew
Triple
what
H
he
is
said.
just standing there, and Stephanie's begging him to come back. Like, that didn't make sense to me. I don't care. Stop selling. You could separate the things.
Well,
Then
what-
just have Stephanie come out. Don't have Triple H come out at all.
What really
Just
pissed me
standing
off
there.
about that is it's kind of making Triple H look like a big wuss or pussy with Sting that he's like a little child who's sulking in his corner.
I mean, they
after what happened.
They don't say it on TV, but technically, isn't he the one that's like running the Authority?
Yeah.
I know it's both of them, but it's kind of he's in charge.
Well, I mean, Stephanie did during the meeting. Stephanie did yell like when she got interrupted by Seth Rollins. She did flip out and say, "I'm in charge too."
Which
You
is
don't
great.
interrupt.
She needs to, I mean, she's obviously put her foot down on multiple occasions, but, you know, she proves she can go out there without Triple H and put her foot down.
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't like listening to her promos.
No.
They bother me. It's annoying.
No, I hate her on the mic.
Her
I
voice
actually
is
hate her.
annoying, and
Yes.
not in like a Vicky Guerrero get heat way. It's like
Just annoying.
it's just.
But who knows? Will Randy Orton rejoin the Authority? We'll find out later tonight. Dolph Ziggler versus Bad News Barrett.
Great match.
Non-title
Very good match. The thing with
Great
Raw
match.
is I felt like Raw had really good wrestling.
Yes.
All of the wrestling matches, well, except for one women's match, all of the matches were really good wrestling. It was the opposite of the pay-per-view. It was like we got all the wrestling on Raw and all like the good promo things on the
on the
pay-per-view.
Fastlane, yep.
Like they fucked it up. It's backwards, ass backwards. It was a great match though.
R-Truth
Yeah, I don't know.
R-Truth?
If I
Where
like
did
this.
he come? Like, I guess he was
I
win on
respect
SmackDown
him.
or whatever.
He's like a solid wrestler, but he's just like he has such a stupid gimmick, and he has to do like crotch gyrations while he's wrestling. Like I can't take him seriously.
He's
that
like the Road
character.
Dogg in like that sense that you didn't take him seriously.
Yeah,
when
like
he was
you
doing
can't
it.
take him seriously as a contender like that, especially like nowadays when everyone's like way more serious. Not like
Plus, when he speaks, he's got that horrible list that you just can't take that
Well,
seriously.
All right, they hit upon R-Truth pinning Wade Barrett in a 9-title match on SmackDown.
Yep.
Which would technically make R-Truth the number one contender.
What about Sin Cara too?
Yeah.
Sin Cara's pinned Wade Barrett
Twice.
Oh,
I
Sin
thought.
Cara.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Lucha Dragons.
Yeah, really, stay with them.
Now, Dolph Ziggler beats Ben News Barrett.
Yes.
That also technically makes him number
4-way
one
match.
Yeah,
contender.
exactly. Isn't
We also didn't mention that D'Ambrose stole the Intercontinental title.
Well, yeah, he stole it
At
at Fastlane and comes back and still holds it and bumps shoulders with Dolph Ziggler, which
Yeah.
means probably it's going to be a fatal 4-way match
Yep.
for the Intercontinental
Which
title.
I'm okay with it. I mean, R-Truth, not so much, but I'm okay
Yeah,
with
I would like
Barrett,
to-
Ziggler, and Ambrose in the same ring. I'm okay with it.
I would like to. I'm agreeing. I like it. I would like to get someone else besides our.
Of course, that's the only problem.
You got
with
all
R-Truth.
faces in there with Barrett though, and Barrett has been like, not only the past couple weeks, he's been more of a heel. He seemed like he was going face almost when he was coming back. So it's like, I don't know, the dynamic. It's just like all faces. Where are they gonna go? Like, who's gonna win, and where are they gonna go with the next feud? You know what I mean? Like,
That's going to be a tough one to call.
That's why instead of someone like putting R-Truth in there, I would have liked to have seen maybe like Luke Harper get back in there, put another heel in
Yeah,
there with
what
Ben
if-
News Barrett, at least make it
he wrestled on
evenly. 2 and 2.
Superstars actually.
God.
Why? He's a better wrestler than Rowan is
They
by a million times,
yes, but they don't care.
and he's got a better
He's-
character.
Yeah, I think I said this last week. He's in limbo. Like they don't know what he's doing. He's like, they should never. They should have split Bray Wyatt from them, but those two should have stayed together.
Brian,
They could be tag
Yes.
team champions right now. They're a good tag team. I don't love Rowan in the ring. He's okay, but as a tag
But
team,
Luke Harper is great in the ring.
they were pretty impressive as a tag team, and they should. And it's a real shame that they never won the tag team titles. They're probably one of the best teams to never win the tag team titles.
I agree.
They should have won it.
I think they will down the road.
They will. They're gonna be back together.
Sure.
All right.
All great
I
tag
don't think
teams
so
get back
happening.
together. "Quote unquote" right back to Axel. Whatever the fuck his name is.
Curtis Axel.
Curtis Axel.
Mania?
That's what I was going to say. Primetime Players is back. Millions of dollars.
millions and millions and millions of wins.
No. Well, I mean, they won, but
Yeah. They did
Yeah.
win.
I mean, I liked that gimmick back then. You know, before his tagging partner beat the shit out of him, and then he disappeared for like a year and a half.
And then he came back out for one match, and then his tag team partner came out and saved him after nowhere.
Came
It just
out-
doesn't make sense.
Came out of the closet to wrestle. Sorry.
But what are you gonna do about it?
I-
Yeah,
just-
nothing
What I
to say
did,
about
what
it.
I did again, like with the Ascension, is they are pushing them as violent bad guys who are gonna kick ass. Where even after they lost
Which
by
is fine.
with the roll, they're pushing them as like they are badasses.
That's good.
You know,
Just don't show those promos on that screen and just alternating yelling corny things.
I would agree with you 100% on that.
And-
That does drive me nuts.
And take the face paint away too. Take
yes,
the face
and
paint.
the armor,
And
the armor,
and
the
the
armor
front-
can
When,
go.
now when you're bad guys, you shouldn't have face paint. That's like a good guy, like kid
No,
friendly
that's always
thing.
true.
Like, oh, he looks cool.
Well, I mean, like, think about it. All
It's
the
just
great
like-
wrestlers who had face paints were mostly face. You had Sting, had face paint. He was almost always face.
Jeff Hardy's
Warrior,
painted his
Jeff
face.
Hardy, Ultimate Warrior. I mean,
the
come
Road
on.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
I don't
remember
think-
how many heels really
It's like
had face
I'm a
paint.
badass, but I go paint my face first. Like,
No, but seriously,
it's-
think about it. How many heels actually wore face paint? I can't think of
Well, right now Stardust, I guess, is a heel. but
Stardust, maybe Goldust back in the
But
day.
it's
If you want to
gotta be
consider
Goldust,
him
so-
Was
Yeah,
Demolition bad?
They were at first.
they were,
turned good.
yeah.
Yes, they started. I mean, obviously, it's not comparable, but I mean,
I'm just saying,
It's more of a
it needs
face
to
thing.
go.
It is.
Just get rid of the shoulder pads and the face paint. Have them
And
how
the
they
gimmick.
were on NXT when they were just kicking ass, and that's all they needed.
Not
They
wearing
needed-
face paint, not wearing. They were just straight up black tights, knee pads and
Yeah,
just
now it's like
fucking ass.
WWE. We gotta fucking sprinkle our own touch on it.
Which
Because-
ruined it.
Because Triple H, apparently when he runs NXT, he doesn't know what's going on. Because, up here, we got to change them. And
But
do it.
here's my thing to you. You said that some guys don't have the character to come up and make success with NXT.
They don't need the character. But as
They
a
don't-
tag team,
these
you don't
guys.
need it as much.
Okay, that's what. Okay, I'm
Because
just
they,
making sure.
they don't need the mic time. They can just come out and kick ass. Like, there's just big dudes kicking ass. That's
Because
it.
I don't ever see them breaking up. Because I don't think they could. I don't think either one of them can really go far
Not
in
yet.
a career.
I mean,
Not yet.
if they could go on for a couple of years, not even years, if they
I
could go
think
on for a year
that
and a half or
what's his
so,
name?
and
Victor. I think Victor.
and
could
Victor
do
and
something.
Connor decide they have their own characters, this and that, and then
Connor
Then
is
they could
limited
separate.
as
Because,
just
like,
the big goon of
the
the tag
the
team.
primetime
Like,
players
this-
I could never see splitting up before they did, and it was just like,
But-
now it makes sense because Titus O'Neil's a bigger guy.
Yeah, but Titus O'Neil sucked on his
And-
own. They never did anything with him.
Victor, of the Ascension, he had good promos. Well, pretty good promos on NXT. He wasn't that bad, but the other guy, Connor, I could see him not being stuck there. But
Roman Reigns promo. Paul, just back up about two steps.
wait, you're talking about Paul Heyman?
Yeah,
'Cause-
Or you talking about
what
the
about
Daniel Bryan? Or
Daniel Bryan came out and then he left, and then Paul Heyman
It
came
was
out,
all
right?
the same
It
fucking
was like
thing.
40 minutes.
It was way too long.
Well, I got to talk about the Daniel Bryan thing
Go ahead.
first. That was amazing. This is my favorite part of Raw.
Daniel Bryan was good. Paul Heyman part was
When
just.
Daniel Bryan says everything that all the haters have been saying about Roman Reigns, and he's like, I thought the same thing until Fastlane. And he said, they always talk about potential backstage. That means the size, the look, the athleticism. But none of those guys that come out down to the ring have half the heart that he has. And then once he said that, I was like, I just felt the realness. Like, the crowd there was shitty. If that was in a better place, the crowd would have went fucking nuts for that.
Yep.
That was awesome that he said that. And then, of course,
To give him his credit. And
yeah, WWE has to play it this way, which...
Well, you knew it was going to happen.
But I don't like that they even faced each other. They never should have gone this way. You split the crowd just to bring them back. Some people aren't going to come back now that you split them. Some people are like, fuck Roman Reigns. He beat Daniel Bryan, Before, if you went them separate, and Roman Reigns going after Brock Lesnar, and be like, okay, I'm liking him more and more. I liked the promos that week when we didn't have Raw and there was a blizzard. I liked Roman Reigns there. He wasn't that bad. With Brock Lesnar singing in the room.
Well, because you never. I mean, that's like in a script, but
Yeah, I know.
You know, a real microphone going out to the crowd and try and talk and.
That's fine, but I'm just saying that, I don't think they needed to do this thing with Daniel Bryan. I think they just wanted people to watch Fastlane, and they abused the fans wanting Daniel Bryan to go to WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
and teased
It
him
wasn't
with
good
it.
for Reigns,
It was a tease for the Daniel Bryan fans because it was like, we're going to put him back in.
It did not help Reigns, because honestly, yes, he had a good match, and I was impressed with it, but I felt like if he had a good build to WrestleMania with Brock Lesnar, I would have been impressed just as much, and I wouldn't have needed to see that. And it split the crowd. Daniel Bryan's getting less pops when he comes out. He was getting less. He didn't get a huge pop for coming out versus Reigns at Fastlane. And Reigns got a decent pop, not a huge pop.
When his music first hit, he got a decent pop, it seemed, at Fastlane, and then after that...
But again,
was,
it's like a John Cena pop. You have a lot of
little
younger
kids,
fans and girls screaming, and they make a lot of noise. And dudes just
high
booing.
pitches.
Yeah, dudes booing does not make a lot of noise. But I'm just saying, I don't think it was a smart idea. Right before WrestleMania, you're trying to build someone. Let's turn half the crowd against him. Why would you do that?
But they kind of built Roman Reigns when Paul Heyman came out. You're better than Bruno Sammartino.
Don't
You're
fucking
better
no.
than Hulk
Seriously,
Hogan.
I'm going
You're
home now.
better
I'm leaving
than
the
Stone
podcast.
Cold Steve Austin. You're better than The Rock. You're
If
better
I was
than
at
Triple
home,
H.
I'm honest,
You're better
I would have
than
fucking
John
shut the
Cena
TV
ever.
off from Raw, and I've never done that. I'm not one of those fans like, I'm not going to watch anymore. One of those fucking bitches on the internet. I won't watch anymore. I want to turn the fucking TV off right there.
You
because
said it. You said it.
that's a fucking disgrace. You
No.
can't say that shit. You can't say that shit.
Any of those names that he mentioned was a disgrace to each
But-
one of them.
But
That's... Oh my god. Paul Heyman probably threw up backstage.
don't-
He made himself
no,
sick
no,
from
not
saying
even
that.
that. No. He did that to kind of build Roman Reigns, but then
The guy won 2 matches,
he
single match, on
broke
pay-per-view.
down Roman Reigns saying, but you cannot beat Brock
That's not breaking him
Lesnar.
down.
That's
No.
breaking him
Nobody
down.
has.
That's saying Brock Lesnar's better than
Nobody
all
has.
those guys put together. Roman Reigns even in that.
Right now, he is. He's the strongest WWE champion.
That was
of
the
all
whole
time.
point of that.
He
That
is.
was the whole point of that. That wasn't to build Roman Reigns. That was just to say, hey, yeah, you know the.
No, but still, that's putting Reigns way
Yeah, but there was
too
too
high.
many legends
It's too
in there.
much.
If he did threw like 2 or 3 in there,
Oh,
and they were like half.
you're
no,
better
he's
than
a-
Hulk Hogan. You're better than Shawn Michaels. You're better than Scotty 2 Hottie. You're better than Grandmaster Set. Like, come on. No, you're not going to do that.
No, but
You're going
he
to throw
means
every
cut it
fucking
off at
Hall of
2.
Famer.
But still, either way,
No.
none of those people should be mentioned. Because you're mentioning people that had charisma and captured people's imaginations. And now you have a guy that is a solid wrestler. You know, he's got his character thing going that he took from the Shield. And he's not even in that league.
But what drives me nuts with him is everyone else in the Shield, the other Ambrose and Rollins, both developed different characters
Because
when the Shield went out.
They
Roman
knew
Reigns
those
didn't.
guys would float with any gimmick. You put them with anything, they'll float those guys. Roman Reigns, they know would sink with some other kind of gimmick, so they're like, okay,
But you don't even
the
change
Shield
his
is
goddamn
popular. The
music.
Shield has a reputation. Let's let him keep going with that. Let's let him ride that momentum of the Shield.
But you don't
That's
even
why.
change his music. You don't even change his walking to the ring. I mean, come on.
I get mad at it. I hate it. But honestly, when I think about it, it's like if you were in charge, like if you really want Roman Reigns to succeed, that's probably the best thing you can do because you're just living off the Shield. The people that got into the Shield, a lot of them will keep liking him for that because, you know, the entrance and everything.
I mean, for me personally, because I like Seth Rollins, he changed his character, awesome. Dean Ambrose changed his character, awesome. I really think that, I'm not saying they're going to throw, it's weird.
I don't
because-
love Dean Ambrose's character, but
But Dino, like, thing is, they kind of did what they're doing with the Shield, in a way, but not as, alright, hear me out on this one. So Dean Ambrose in the Shield, he's always a crazy guy, right? He was always, hey, you want to fight me? Let me come in, let me, going
well,
nuts.
not always. I mean, he had promos
No,
on the mic where he was
It
very
wasn't
serious.
like that until it turned babyface.
Yes.
No, well, he was
When
serious.
they were heels, he was
yes,
the talker on the microphone, very serious.
very serious, but he also, like, towards the end of the Shield, he was more like the Wildcat. He was always the wild one to go up and yell in someone's face
Yeah.
and dive, water my hair and jump off the ropes and shit. He was always a crazy one in the Shield. So they kind of bounced off that. Rollins, they went, I don't know, they took the Money in the Bank and they ran with it. So I don't know how they really changed his character from the Shield. I don't know.
I mean, his look, his
No,
song,
I'm not saying, but I'm saying
his
like, I don't know-
wrestling.
His attitude.
Okay, Roman Reigns still comes out with the Shield music. Still comes out with the Shield entrance. Still comes out with the vest.
Same moves. I mean,
Same
he's
move.
had some moves.
No,
He's
alright,
added
yeah,
he did some moves.
if he
Okay.
needs it, we see a little more.
He did
So-
that Billy Gunn suplex.
Okay,
Yes.
Because Billy Gunn did it when they came back on the
So
Raw
that
run.
was developed off the Shield. Like I said, Dean Ambrose was a little more crazy towards the end of the Shield. They built it off the Shield. Rollins like, oh, you're brand new person.
I don't think they
There's no
built Dean
Shield
Ambrose
music,
off
no
that. I
Shield
think they
gimmick.
wanted to go with that lunatic thing because it was like a unique thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Rollins come out and saying, "I'm the best out here. I'm the future." He never said that in the Shield.
But he's with
Exactly.
Triple H. I mean,
he's
that's-
with the authority. He knew where to throw
I'm
his
saying, but
card to
Pat-
get himself ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know if that was. I mean, it is because of authority, but at the same time, is that completely his character?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. He keeps going his rants. He's saying, yeah, obviously he's 100% with the authority, but at the same time, he's going with this he's never said stuff like this before, and I don't know why.
He kind of has since he left the Shield.
No, he
Since
said
the
since the
day-
Money in the Bank. Since he got Money in the Bank.
Well, I mean, even when he
No,
first
even
when he
before
first
that.
betrayed him, he said, "I was the architect. I
I
built
built
the
it,
Shield.
nothing without
I
me."
destroyed it."
They would have been nothing without me.
Yeah, he said it
Yeah,
a
just
million and one times. He always said he was the best of the Shield. He was the whole thing that held it together. It was his baby, his idea.
Yeah, but he said that after it happened, though. He was never like. I feel like there wasn't a.
Well, of course,
Yeah,
because they were
yeah,
in
yeah,
unit.
because
They
they
were
were
a group.
together.
It was three guys that were equals, but if you think about it, he was the bottom guy. Not in wrestling.
Yeah, I know, absolutely.
Because
he was the bottom.
Ambrose and Reigns were always competing
the
for
bottom,
who's
he was
running the
top.
Shield at the
So
end.
if you feel like he was the bottom, why?
He was the one who kept it together. Like
He
he,
was
separated.
the architect. He was able to keep it
Oh,
peaceful.
the way. No, I thought the way you saying it, like he was the top 3 wrestlers, it would be like Roman Reigns, Ambrose, and then him.
I just said not wrestling.
No,
That's
not
the first
wrestling.
thing I
Yeah, he said not
I
wrestling.
didn't hear that.
I said not
He
wrestling.
said as Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns were fighting for the top
Yeah,
position of
they're
the
like-
Shield, he was there to separate
They're
them.
like the alpha
Keep them away
dogs
from
of the
each other.
Shield,
Yes.
and Rollins was like not competing. He wasn't trying to be the leader. He was never.
He was
trying
holding
to.
it together the whole
Yes.
time, which is why I think why he went with the whole. I was the architect. I held this together. I created it, which would make sense because if he struggled so hard not to be the top guy, but just to hold it as a unit,
Yeah.
he really probably might have been the guy who created it. If you want to go with that storyline, so
Which is great.
It does make sense. So moving on there,
WWE Tag Team Championship is on the line
yet again.
after
Yay.
24 hours of its defense. Listen, I thought this was the greatest match of Raw.
No,
Hands down.
No.
Hands down, greatest match of Raw.
On the Raw before.
Don't get me wrong. No, don't get me wrong. It kind of sucked because it kept going to commercial break. I think it went
I
to
don't know.
2 commercial breaks during this match, which tells you something. This match went on for over 15
I think
minutes.
it did more to sell Total Divas than enjoy the match.
I don't think so.
Yep.
They're still showing. I mean, to get into, I want the women to do more on the show, but I don't want it to be about a stupid TV show.
Think about how the match ended. Now
They showed that. They still show the clip of them at dinner and the attack. They still show that. How long are they going to keep showing
Because
that?
that went into the storyline with the Usos versus them.
It's too much with.
And then, like,
Oh,
yeah,
Diva.
they got physically involved and like affected the match there, which.
Which made more sense because it should have happened weeks ago with them getting physically involved.
I know, but they haven't done anything for so long. They just stood there or cheered, and now all of a sudden they're like, it seemed kind of random to me. I don't know. And then Natalya gets hurt on that. Do you see that?
Yeah.
I think she was fine because now she posted an Instagram picture of her working out,
Okay.
doing squats,
Well,
and
yeah,
things,
yeah.
so she was fine.
Okay, yeah, but I think that was legit though. The way she fell.
It
was so
looked like she
awkward.
was really
She
hurt.
pulled off the apron, but she didn't pull her
She
like.
slammed her
you're
knee
supposed-
or
yeah,
ankle
you're
or
supposed to
something.
like when you
against
pull
it.
someone off, they're supposed to like you know
Yeah.
take the bump on their head. She fell their knee hitting the apron. That looked really bad. But I mean, I like the match on pay-per-view a little more, but
I don't know. I think this this match on Raw
But it was good,
more,
it was good.
was more entertaining than the match on pay per view.
it was a good match. But where are they going now? All the teams, as you said already.
Well, I mean, like I like the fact that kind of the fact that Tyson Kidd and Cesaro are playing the heel team by using Natty. Like when I can't even tell them apart. Jay or Jimmy was chasing him outside the ring.
Oh, Vinny hates that part though because Tyson Kidd's a dick.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's what a manager is supposed to be. I mean, a
Vinny
manager
fell
was
asleep.
the managers have always been the distracting point.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Tyson Kidd hiding
But
behind
is Tyson Kidd being a terrible husband? Come on.
because
Yeah,
it's
but-
real life.
Think,
Baby.
think
But
of
are
the
these
cats, man.
But are
Think
these
of the cats.
managers that like their
Hate
teams
cats.
came into the business with, or are they just
The wife.
you know they happen to be their wives?
I hate
and
cats.
we're just blurring the lines for the reality show.
You know, you're right. You
That's
could be
why I
right
don't
on
like
that. I
that.
don't know.
It's like does Naomi fit as their manager? You know, she was
No.
a Funkadactyl. She was with Bros Clay. Oh, now she's with her husband or whatever. It's just. I want women to be in those roles. Like, they could be managers, they could be wrestlers, and all that shit, and be in a lot of the storylines. But it just seems like it's just forced from the TV show, and I don't like that. It's just.
They gotta. I think they need to keep Total Diva
And
100% separate from Raw or pay per view.
The actual product.
Yeah,
I don't think they should even show wrestling on it. Just show their personal lives or whatever,
Yeah.
that's it.
and on a Raw, never reference again what happened on Total Divas
No,
because
they're trying-
half the wrestling fans don't give a shit. Most wrestling fans that are guys are not sitting there going,
They want more
"Oh,
people
it's
to
a
watch
Saturday night, I'm
It's-
gonna
so
try
they
to
can
go
get
Total
re-upped
Diva."
and get more money.
It's so
That's it.
less than 10% of the guys who have girlfriends watching
Yes.
wrestling
They have
watching Total
Divas.
Divas.
The best point that goes with your point is they have Total Divas on while pay-per-views are on. They still air it.
Yep.
So if they really cared about wrestling fans watching Total Divas, they wouldn't air the premiere during a wrestling pay-per-view. That's not smart.
It's complete
agree.
idiotic behavior on WWE's
I
behalf.
watched it. It's funny.
And one thing I would say about I honestly have not liked Cesaro lately. I know he's a tag team champion now, and this is better for him. But
I don't think it's better for him.
well, this is better than
Well, I
doing
mean,
nothing.
him having the tag team championship, yes, it's better for him. But him in the tag team
he's
in
like
general,
sneaking around and being like he just seems like what he's doing is so forced and not him in this thing.
I don't think he's happy with it. That's the thing.
He needs to be. I just don't think he. I honestly am giving up. I don't think he can work in WWE. He needs to be a wrestling machine, and that's not in WWE's playbook anymore. They're not doing that.
It's crazy because
He needs to be like a Kurt Angle. I'm a wrestling machine, but he can't talk like Kurt Angle.
Well, that's why you give him a manager.
Like Benoit back in the day.
But
he couldn't talk. He was just technically amazing, and he just put on great matches.
But see, put Cesaro in an NXT match. Like I watched, I think it was him versus Tyson Kidd actually, and they put on one hell of a match. Put him on Monday Night Raw, garbage.
Because Cesaro on NXT will get a 20-minute match where it's not getting. There's not
it's the quality of match though.
but there's not 5 people in the room, agents, that tell him, you gotta do this spot, you gotta do this spot at NXT. It's Triple H saying, what do you guys want to do?
That's
and
what
they
I'm
do
saying. It's WWE being ruined by NXT.
Yeah, so it's not Cesaro's fault.
it's not that they're being ruined by NXT.
again,
Vince ruining.
Yeah, and
That's
the whole,
what
that's what I meant.
and no, it's the whole structure of it.
What Vince needs to do
They
at this
changed the
point.
structure because they're corporate.
Clearly, NXT is far more superior than
What I
the main roster. It's obvious.
Not
now.
in talent.
I
In
wouldn't
performance.
say. I wouldn't
Not
say.
talent.
In
I-
talent, you think they're better wrestlers, the people in NXT, than on WWE TV. On Raw and SmackDown.
Half the roster, yes.
That's a joke.
Half the
That's an
roster.
absolute joke. They're better wrestlers. NXT has better wrestlers than the main roster. That's a joke. That's a fucking joke.
Listen,
Why is
That's an
that?
absolute joke. Not even, and you can't entertain that thought.
Why is that a joke?
Half NXT rosters are guys that they just picked up and they're still training. You think Baron Corbin can wrestle? You think Bull Dempsey can wrestle? There's no guy.
Not yet. Not yet. They're not at that level yet.
So who do you have? You have what? You have Neville, Zayn.
Yes.
You have the women. But do you think the women are better? You think Paige is worse than any of the divas on NXT?
Where did
You think
Paige come
Charlotte's
from?
better than Paige?
Oh, no. Hold on.
Listen,
No.
listen. Let me
Wait,
call
hold
time
on.
out right there. Let me call time out there.
Yeah.
Stop all of you. This divas section is fucked. Listen, we all thought this section was saved from Paige coming up from the WWE. We're talking about talent-wise, right? Talent-wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were all like, Paige is gonna,
No, but it's good.
reboost this entire divas.
It's made it better.
No, it hasn't.
I enjoy watching her segments.
It had
when she
for
has
a
them.
month or two. For a month or two, it had. She won the title. She was defending it against Angie Lee. And then all of a sudden, everyone was tired of her versus Angie Lee. Her versus Naomi. And it just... Okay, you bring up Charlotte? Listen, I
Because
love
you don't
NXT.
give them 15
I love
minutes,
NXT.
but we'll get into that more.
No, but my
also-
argument.
I just
wait,
want
hold
to say that I don't understand how you can say NXT has better wrestling.
Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna-
It's not possible.
Hold on, wait. One
Not
They
second.
put on better shows.
Okay,
than
because
Raw.
it's different. The person booking.
No. Vinny's argument. I think you're a little confused on this. Vinny's argument is they actually have more talent in NXT. Where Dan's saying that's not true.
No
Now,
way.
No,
I-
'cause if they
for the
had
most
better
part-
talent, they'd
Not
be on
even
Raw.
close.
Yes.
Not
They'd
even
be on
close.
the main roster.
Well, no, I will say that some of the female wrestlers in NXT probably have more talent than some of them in WWE.
Some of them.
And
yes.
I'm not saying
But
all.
to make
I'm
it
not
to the
saying
main
all.
roster,
I'm saying
you
like
also have to have a look.
I'm saying Nikki Bella.
You think Becky
She's-
Lynch is
No,
going to
not
be on
Becky Lynch,
WWE
no.
TV on Raw
Yeah, I'm
and be
thinking,
successful?
a
You know
Charlotte,
why they're
a
not
sh-
being brought up on WWE main roster? Because they're so big right now. I mean,
No, that has nothing to
are
do
you
with it.
kidding me?
No.
They brought
NXT
the
has
Ascension.
blown up.
You can't
Fuck the
bring up-
Ascension.
They brought up the Ascension. They were the
Okay.
biggest tag team in the division
And
down
they
there.
fucked them
They have
over.
10 divas up
We just said
now or
before-
something on
wait,
the main
we
roster.
just said before
and there's no
the
time for
Ascension.
them.
We just said before about the Ascension. They were NXT, they were simple black tights, whatever it was. They wrestled, they kicked their ass fine. They come to Raw, they got fucking shoulder pads, face paint. They destroy them when they go to the main roster.
Okay.
When they're NXT, people go nuts over them.
Okay.
Bring them to the main roster, everyone's like, oh, either they're gonna get fucked by them or they're
I agree with
or
that,
they're
but I don't know
die.
But
how
they
that
didn't.
relates
But they
to
didn't
what
do that
you're
with
saying.
Paige. They didn't do that with anyone
has
else.
become such a major thing now.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
you make
order.
$25,000 a year if you
Who
sit on
cares
NXT
about-
in Florida.
Who cares about the
They want to be
paycheck,
on the big
though?
time. What do you mean? Who
Of
cares
course
about the
they
paycheck?
do. No, of course they do. But
if
at the
you're a
same
guy
time-
like Kevin Owens, who has a family, you care about being in the big time.
Yeah.
Because you're not making
They could wrestle in Ring of
$25,000.
Honor and
Okay,
make
they want
more than
to,
$50,000
but
a year.
Triple H is protecting them.
Definitely.
It's Triple H protecting him, saying, you're not ready yet, or we still can keep you down there.
No, that's not Triple H. That's Triple H exactly. He's protecting him, going, "You're not ready."
That's people higher than Triple H saying they're not ready.
Yes, exactly.
It's Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon does not watch NXT. I repeat, he does not watch it.
I guarantee you're right on that.
No.
It's all 27 right.
He said it.
He said he does not watch NXT.
No, he doesn't.
Really?
Yep.
Someone asked Triple H in the interview, did he watch the NXT pay-per-view? And Triple H was like, he told me that he had it. It was on in the office, but he was working late, and he goes to the gym late. He didn't watch it.
No,
he doesn't watch NXT. He doesn't care about those guys.
bad.
Do you think he sees Sami Zayn and thinks that's a star? Fuck no.
And
That's why he won't be a main event guy.
One of the great things about NXT that makes it better than WWE is there's not, as we said earlier, there's not 20, 40, 50 different people going, let's go this direction, let's go this direction. How do you think? It's Triple H and maybe one writer going, okay, here's the winner, here's the loser for your story.
Triple H knows what they're good at, and he's like, just go out and do that. You guys can do what you want, pretty much.
Which could, you can never do it now because WWE is so big.
I'm sure he makes up the storylines.
Yes.
But the actual working.
No, what I'm talking about
WWE, they call out moves, but the main spots of the match, they don't decide those
What I
main
think
spots.
happens in NXT
They have
matches
guys like Joey Mercury before he was a stooge. He was back there.
He still
Who
is
it
back
now?
there.
They got other guys, the former wrestlers backstage, and they make up what they're going to do.
What I think is happening in NXT is basically like Gasper's the writer, Dan, you and Vinny are the wrestlers, and I'm Triple H. Gasper's coming to me going, okay, tonight Dan's gonna win. I'm Triple H going, all right, Dan, you're winning. You two work it out. Figure out what the best thing you guys can do. Let me know your game plan, and I'll finalize it.
It was like back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, late, early 2000s. That's how it was.
But now it can't be
was Vince
restructured.
going up to Austin going, hey, Austin, you're squaring off for the angle.
But now it's
this is how it's going to end. You guys figure it out.
Now it's
Let me know. They ask you.
Let me or Pat know.
Yeah,
Me or Pat.
I'm sure like Triple
now
H
it's
and
in a
NXT goes, let
vacuum,
me
and
know.
they want to manipulate, and they want to have strings on the guys.
I think it's
and
too much involvement, but how do you
corporate, and it's
restructure it, though? Is the
Too
question.
much advertising, corporate, Make-A-Wish, all this
I
crap.
blame Linda McMahon.
Yes.
Jack
All that.
Swagger versus Stardust.
Skip that one.
Okay.
No, seriously.
We're skipping that? Okay.
Yeah, skip
No,
it.
it added to the WrestleMania thing of Goldust versus Stardust because Goldust came out.
Goldust like this.
Distracted
And he
him.
like
distracted him.
crouched on the...
John Cena promo.
There it is.
John Cena said, I didn't quit, blah, blah, blah. Rusev came out and said, you're weak, you quit, you gave up.
John Cena promo. How many times have we heard this promo that he never
Yeah.
gives up?
And
Oh, in the
then...
United States of America this time, guys. It wasn't the first time.
Good.
It is now.
And that picture I showed...
because Rusev refused.
Remember that picture I showed of John Cena as Rocky, WrestleMania 31? There it is. It's happening.
Is he going to come out in his camo shirt?
Draped in a flag. And there's
Rusev
going to be a
refused.
huge flag that drops. Cena's going to win. There's going to be a massive flag that drops in the arena.
With red, white, and blue flags.
Hogan, too.
And then Kurt Angle's going to come out, Angle slam him, and be like,
No,
I'm the Olympic hero.
I would love that, but I didn't know.
Possibly Hogan and Rusev's corner for the match. Possibly. I wouldn't
Hogan
rule it out.
and Rusev's
I mean, I'm sorry. Cena's
I'm like, wait, how did that happen?
Yeah, Hogan.
I'm a real American.
I'm real
No, it's going to be Vladimir
I can't believe I said
Putin
that.
in Rusev's corner, and then Obama in Cena's corner.
Hollywood Hogan.
I am curious to know.
Live feeds, just on TV. They're not there in person. They're on TVs.
I'm just curious to know if Putin gets pissed
Interactive,
off.
baby. Interactive. WrestleMania.
I'm just curious to know if
Small screen on
Putin's
the
pretty
backdrop.
pissed off that his name just keeps getting mentioned in WWE.
He won't know ever.
Ever. Paige and Emma versus the Bella Twins, or should I just say, we'll show this Sting promo and then
Yeah.
we'll just roll up and beat you.
And this turned into the...
And we'll
Give
touch
Divas
about
a
it now.
chance.
Go ahead. Give
That-
Divas a chance.
Because it was give Truth a chance. And instead they turned to give Divas a chance. And that
Which
went
Go ahead.
wild. Well, what do you want me to say further about it?
Stephanie McMahon did.
Well, Stephanie McMahon was posting things about women's rights and showing that, like, some bitch at the Academy Awards, I don't know her name, but she had a speech about women's rights, and she posted, like, a quote of that and stuff and saying how she supports it. And then AJ tweets saying, well, like, if you're really for women's rights, why they have no time on TV and they get paid the least amount of wages when they're selling a lot of merchandise and...
Boom. Pipe bomb.
Not
shit
really.
like that.
So is AJ fired now?
But it's not just AJ. Paige
No,
just
Paige then Instagrammed a 8-photo montage
of like different WWE
of
saying
Lita
different things
saying
they
a
can do.
woman can preach with Lita on the mic. A woman can work. I can't tell who that is. A
It
woman
looks
can
like Kelly
fight.
Kelly, but she can't really work. But
A woman can build with Mae Young with her hands raised up high. A woman can rule, which is Miss Elizabeth crying after she won the title. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
No, she's holding.
No,
the
she's
title.
holding Macho Man.
Oh, sure, whatever. A woman can conquer, which is China with the women's title.
Or the IC championship, or
No, that's the women's.
I'm just saying she didn't
A
win the
woman
IC.
can destroy.
A woman can destroy. I can't tell what that is.
No.
Finish, is that finished?
And the last one is
That's-
just as much as a man can.
And that's what Triple H has been saying in interviews all the time. He says he wants women's wrestling to become just like a UFC is with Ronda Rousey. It's the biggest attraction right now in UFC, the most interesting thing. He wants it to be like women's can be as entertaining as the men if they give it a chance.
And you have the right people going. You have the right talent going.
Yes.
Which is why I'm saying with the NXT. The female division, I would drop half them out and bring up some NXT people to give them actual good matches. Like Natalya, I've said, I hate her character. She can wrestle. But a girl like Charlotte, the boss, what's her name? From
Sasha
NXT?
Banks.
Sasha Banks. They
I'm
can
not a
wrestle,
huge fan
they're
of
good.
Charlotte. She's an okay wrestler, but I'm not a huge fan.
Wait, which one?
Charlotte.
No, I'm saying that they're good wrestlers. Maybe work on their characters once they get up there.
Yeah, and she just
They are
doesn't
great
have a
wrestlers.
WWE diva look,
No.
Charlotte. She's just...
But that could be a good thing.
mean
You can
WWE
use that. You
Did
could use
Jazz
that.
have a WWE diva
Did
look?
China have a WWE?
China?
Well,
Fucking
China
Jackie?
is not comparable to anyone because China was revolutionary. She
You're
had
right.
a look.
Okay.
Not a diva
Jazz,
look.
Jackie,
Jazz
Ivory.
should have never been anything.
Beth Phoenix.
I don't know what they were thinking. Beth Phoenix had a good look. Are you kidding me?
She was gigantic.
Yeah, but she was
Yeah.
blonde.
And she
you
was
know.
attractive for a girl that is that muscular.
The Bella Twins win.
Anyway.
Ryback versus Axelmania.
Junk.
And not needed. And the only important thing was
Especially, no, that
Ryback
shouldn't have
stopped.
happened.
the only thing that made this
All the way down.
somewhat
You can't see.
respectable was Ryback saying he's entering
Well,
the
Oh yeah.
Andre the Giant thing.
So
That's
yeah, and they
really-
So did
before
Curtis
that,
Axel.
they
yeah, but at least
mentioned
Ryback
that
might think he can
Miz
do it.
announced he's so there's 3 people in it.
But now Miz Dallas, we forgot to mention that. Miz Dallas got deals coming his way, and Miz didn't look too happy about
oh,
that.
baby.
And they're going to be in the Battle Royal, so they're not getting that Mania match like some people maybe on the
Hey,
show would have
come on.
thought.
I thought
I
that.
kind of thought it was going to happen.
Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins and Randy Orton.
Entertaining match. I
Great
liked
match. I enjoyed it.
Another great match. Great. Just, you're having this. All I can't even say it. Good wrestlers. Like, you put good wrestlers in a match, a main event, something we haven't seen. We haven't seen Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. Dan Bryan, we've seen with Roman Reigns a bit. But this is at least something fresh. We're not getting Big Show and Kane in the main event.
Thank God.
Sick of that shit.
And the ending was actually pretty good for storyline wise. Wait, hold on. Let me
You're losing
finish.
me.
Hold on. Let me finish why. Because, Rollins takes himself in while Orton's about to give the DDT. And you see Orton visibly getting pissed off and angry. He walks away, being comforted and calmed down by Big Show and Kane. And then all of a sudden, you see on the opposite end, Bryan does the same thing, and Roman Reigns.
I love that part. Though.
That was
a
awesome.
great segment.
Because you see Roman Reigns, who should have been pissed off, goes and leaves the ring, just smiles,
Yeah.
walks out.
Because why does he care? He's going to Mania.
Yeah.
He's not going to sweat over
They're
a little
friends
pinfall.
Now
Friends now.
what happens is obviously Rollins gets pinned. Orton comes in. We think he's gonna do something.
And he RKO's Jamie Noble,
Jamie
Mercury,
Noble,
backs
Mercury,
off.
yeah. And then, but he picks him up and dusts him off. What I think is going on now is it's one of two things. He's either firmly back with the Authority, which I don't want,
No,
No.
I don't know
or it's
what's
just
happening.
playing into like the mind game of
Yeah, he's just like.
I'm gonna make you so secure, and when your back is turned and you
But no,
trust me,
that's
it's
not.
coming down.
That is not Randy Orton's character. Randy Orton's character, you put him out for 4 months, he's gonna come get you, and he's gonna take you out,
But-
and that's it.
Next
You're making
week-
him look
next
like a
week at
pussy
Raw-
bitch.
Hold on.
Randy
Always
Orton is no longer an Authority member.
Remember this though, the Viper always was methodical. Maybe this is his way of getting
I
back
agree with
in.
you.
He's
And that's why he
playing
did
his
the
games.
meeting. And that's why he got in a
Yes.
tag team match with
Yes.
Rollins. And that was his opportunity while he's on a team with Rollins to get him good. While he least expects it.
Well, because Rollins was still skeptical.
And now-
So I think he's waiting to like build the trust. Like, I dusted you off. I slapped you on the arm. We're cool. Don't worry. Now all of a sudden Rollins is going to be very comfortable. And next week, like Gasper said,
And-
it's going to be the RKO out of absolutely nowhere. And then leading up to WrestleMania.
And
match.
Raw ends really with a pat on the back. It's like a pat.
Yeah.
And that's it. Are you kidding me? This is the road to WrestleMania.
Which
We
next
don't
week-
have Brock Lesnar. We don't have The Undertaker.
By the way,
Triple H didn't say a word. We didn't
By the
say
way,
a
we
word. We
have
don't
to
have
specify
Sting.
why we did not see Brock Lesnar tonight, but you guys have never got into it. What?
Well, yeah, Brock Lesnar should have been out in the main event. He
But
should have
what
been out
happened?
assaulting them. I thought he was going to come out in the main event.
Yes,
So
but
did
what
I.
happened? Because we now
Well, we don't know what happened,
Well,
but he went home.
yes.
He flew there to Raw, and then he went home.
bounced. He showed up and went,
Yo.
fuck this, and left.
An alleged
Literally.
business altercation, like a business issue.
Contract.
Because, like I said earlier, Brock Lesnar, he's not going to bitch about losing the belt. He's not going to bitch about who he has to wrestle. He comes here, he gets paid, and he gives it his all. I'll admit, that's why I respect him. I understand he doesn't love the business. I understand that, but he gives it 110% when he's out there.
I think he loves the business to a degree. I don't think he wants to
He
love
doesn't want to travel and be on the road
exactly.
and do any of that.
He loves
I don't
wrestling.
think he loves the business in general, but that doesn't matter to me.
He loves.
I love that he will give a performance.
Yes.
You pay him, he's going to give his whole body. He doesn't care. He'll take bumps that nobody should take, that he
Yep.
should be concussed every time. He
which
usually is.
Yeah. So I mean, but the one thing we also have to discuss is there's a really good chance he's not going back to UFC. Does this mean he stays with WWE to make?
I think this is part of the problem why they had disagreement. I think
If he's not going back to UFC, does he stay in WWE? And if so, do you make him drop the title to Roman Reigns?
I don't know.
I think the problem is I think it's a business thing. WWE wants to keep him on longer, but they want something with the payment. It's got to be
It's gotta be
because
the
he's
damn
making
money.
a lot of money. I don't know exactly the numbers, but I think he's making more than anybody else on the main roster, even though he's only showing up a few times a year.
Yeah, but I think they're only
He's
paying
making-
him per appearance, though. I don't think.
Yeah,
that
but
they're
he's
paying
making
him.
more than $1 million a
But I
year.
think
I'm
what
pretty
happens,
sure.
I
Yes.
think they, like you said, I think they might want him on TV more, but I don't think he wants to do it. I don't think
It
he-
doesn't
But
matter.
if you're not
He
going
would
to
if you pay him.
yeah, if you're not going to
You got to pay him
UFC,
per appearance.
if
That's
you're
what I'm
not,
saying, like, I think they're not offering him enough. To
Well,
be
and you
on
got to
TV.
remember the Blizzard show. He was there.
Yeah.
Just for the interviews, because he was already there. He flew out, and then he flew home. He was going to be on the live SmackDown.
Yep.
But then he wasn't. He flew home. I think WWE is saying that those dates he didn't really appear, and maybe something like that. It's definitely with dates, and they won't think he owes them more, and he's like, fuck this. Because the guy doesn't have a problem. He doesn't care if he loses to Roman Reigns. He never cares. He'll lose to anyone. He'll make anyone look good. He's sold moves to guys that shouldn't even be knocking him over. CM Punk, he faced CM Punk at SummerSlam, and he made CM Punk look really good. CM Punk had him. Paul Heyman saved CM Punk, Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Otherwise, CM Punk would have won.
And the whole truth is, like you said in real life, there's no way a guy like CM Punk should ever be able to knock down
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar in
But I'm
any
not the
way,
kind
shape,
of
or
person that minds that, though.
No, I know.
Just
Neither
in
do
this
I.
case
Neither do
now,
I.
he's built so much Lesnar that I wouldn't mind that. But it's just so disappointing. And then Bray Wyatt had a promo. Another
Yes.
promo with a coffin.
But
And reports are that Undertaker could not be seen till WrestleMania, and they want to keep it mysterious. Where is he? Has he recovered since Lesnar? And they want to just have him come out.
which I kind of don't like,
I hate it.
because it's just all of a sudden you know it's
It's
going to
lazy.
happen. You know it's going to happen.
It's
I think
lazy
it's just
shit. We've
WWE
already-
not wanting to pay the Undertaker.
Well,
to
we've
come
already
out.
had the Bray Wyatt promos for how many weeks now? Now I thought
Exactly.
after Fastlane we move into a different phase where we got to see some signs from the Undertaker. Maybe he doesn't come out tonight, but I thought we'd see some lightning while he's in the ring. His
or
music
just the
hits.
ring go dark and mist coming up, and it's like
Something
what's
on
going
this Titantron, some signal.
Almost like the Sting thing. I accept he's not even there or whatever. You know,
if they
something.
know, perfect. What they would do if they really don't want, if they don't want to put him on camera, do exactly what they did with Kane when he wrestled WrestleMania 20. He shook the ring, lightning struck. I will make my return in 25 days. Like, shit like that.
But do you think it's by choice they really don't want him on TV? Or do you think
He looks
they
really-
don't want to pay him?
I think it's
I don't think that's it. I
What
don't
happened
think.
to you guys?
I don't
Brock
think
Lesnar's
there's
having
a-
a business
I'll stop
problem.
you right there. I don't think Undertaker cares about the amount of money he makes.
You
no,
said last-
no,
Undertaker
Undertaker is a company guy.
Right there.
He's
He-
not Brock
he
Lesnar.
respects
He
the
cares
business,
more
but-
for the business than Brock Lesnar ever will.
Oh, no arguments there.
He
but
will
I don't-
care for the business, and he'll lose to anyone.
But there's not many people who do care.
But he isn't going to show up to Raw unless he's paid. And if they don't want to pay him, he's not. What do you mean
No,
he's going to show up for free? He's not going to work for free.
I'm not gonna say he's gonna show.
Let me call up
free.
work.
He's
Tomorrow
not
it's
gonna,
on me, guys.
He's
Get
not gonna
the
be
fuck
like,
outta here.
pay me Brock Lesnar money and I'll show up. No, Undertaker.
No, he's not going to say
He's
that.
not going to say that, but he's going to sit there and say, you know, you want me to show up on Raw just to do a
No,
quick
he's
promo?
not going to say anything.
You know-
WWE's going to think, let's book it in a way that he doesn't have to come on Raw, so we don't have to pay him to be on Raw. Because he's not going to physically get involved that much anyways. Why pay him to be there?
You know, if they're smart, at least they would have done something like they would Sting. Have
I
not be in the
honestly
building and
think
just
it's
say, like, on the Titantron, I accept, or WrestleMania 30, you know what I mean? 31.
Yeah, but that's not an
Some-
Undertaker's thing to have like a thing saying I accept. I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying I accept, but just have, like,
At least Sting
WrestleMania
showed up
right
after,
up.
you know?
I don't know what they're doing with
Or
it.
like at least the Druids can wheel out like a coffin that has Bray Wyatt's name.
Yes. Like
Somebody-
some
yeah.
form of acceptance.
I think keeping him off TV would be a good idea. But at least
I'm not
do
saying
signs.
it's a terrible
Do
idea. I
signs.
just think this is a
No,
lazy,
no, of course.
cheap way of WWE
No.
to chip us of the. We
But
could have
that's
got a better
exactly-
build.
When there are
Listen,
signs,
We've had the
We-
promos from Bray
we
Wyatt. He
have
didn't carry promos, but we've
5
had them.
more weeks left until WrestleMania.
4 now.
And we got to listen to
Four?
Bray Wyatt for 5 more weeks. I love his promos,
No.
but how much can he do?
I'm getting bored
Undertaker
of them.
could
I'm
show
getting
up
bored of them.
anytime between that.
I'm getting bored of
I
his
mean, I
promos
called the
on there.
second Raw,
Because
but
they're the same thing. We know it's Undertaker now. It's not hinting anymore. What is he going to say? Like, we're going to see a coffin every week? Like,
Stop ducking me, stop running from me, come out and fight me, blah, blah, blah. We've seen it.
it's...
But anyway,
They're
we
ruining
can
this
talk
build.
over our
The
motorcycle.
Undertaker can
needs to
show
go
up at
into-
any time.
It needs to...
of course he...
We don't know it.
Yeah, he still could. I'm just saying that
We're going on the
honestly...
rumors.
He's
the
not
rumors.
Brock Lesnar.
Honestly,
No one's saying
that.
he is.
It's
We're
that.
not saying
honestly,
he
by
is.
us getting no signal from Undertaker last night, I believe the report somewhat. Because we should have got a signal from him last night. After what happened on pay-per-view, the Undertaker should have responded somehow. last
Especially
I
if
would
you
start
listen to...
worrying if there's no signals this week.
No, but you know what, though?
night. But he didn't do anything, Bray Wyatt, this
You-
week. It
but-
seemed like...
I kind of agree with Dan for
Thrown
one
together.
reason. After he did what he did, Bray Wyatt, meaning Fastlane, all the announcers was like, you don't do that. You don't call the dead man out for WrestleMania.
WWE even teased how
You
will
know?
Undertaker respond to Bray
Yeah.
Wyatt on Raw. They teased that on WWE.com. They post like a preview. They said, how will Undertaker respond to Bray Wyatt?
So now that like Undertaker's not responding at all, it's almost like
It's
it's not making fun of the character of the Undertaker, but it's almost like saying like JBL, Booker T. They were both like, be careful what you wish for. You don't call out the dead man on the biggest stage of the thing.
Yeah.
He will not take this lightly.
Well-
this mockery, and then all of a sudden the Undertaker doesn't even respond or do anything. I mean, you almost make it look like A, the Undertaker doesn't give a fuck, or B, the Undertaker's afraid of Bray Wyatt. That's how I'm interpreting that.
The thing I read said that they want to make him look like mysterious and be like, oh, what happened and where has he been? What does he look like? Like, they want it to be a surprise at WrestleMania. Like,
But you
what
don't
kind
have-
of shape is
but
he in?
We've
No,
all said there are
no,
other things you
okay.
can do besides actually have the Undertaker walk out to the ring and say,
I know.
here I am, I'm in, let's go.
That's true.
You could, like Vinny said,
like you
a
were
lightning
saying,
struck. The mist just come out while Bray Wyatt's talking. The lights go out and
But they don't even want to, like, they don't even want to show that, like, he's accepting almost. They want to say, like,
what are you gonna do with Bray Wyatt now? Is he not gonna wrestle a match until WrestleMania?
That's my
or
question.
are
he
you
may
gonna have
squash a
him?
couple people
Are you
and
gonna
then
have
have
him
him
like
like
wrestle or like?
He's in.
Well, what they
he'll
should have
do what
done-
he's been doing. He's gonna have a squash match, get on the microphone, and cut a promo.
No, what they should have done
They
last
can't
night.
do that for the next 4 weeks.
No, what they should have done last night, just so Bray Wyatt can kind of move on a little bit, was have Bray Wyatt in a match, right? Because he's actually been wrestling really well lately. I've been enjoying all his
He
matches.
was in the dark match.
But still, have him wrestle on Raw instead, and after he wins, because you're not going to make him lose right now, the lights just go off, and you just hear a couple gongs. Not even music, just gongs. And then the lights just come back on and no one's in there. Like, Bray Wyatt's not, the Undertaker's not there, and Bray Wyatt just kind of
That's what I'm saying.
Looking
Play
scared.
mind games with
Something.
him. Because think of it.
Bray Wyatt's not going to
Wyatt's
look
gonna get
scared, though.
angry.
Bray Wyatt's
Not
going to
scared.
laugh.
Not scared.
No.
But be happy.
Bray Wyatt's going to laugh and
Yeah,
put his
he'll be
hands
down
down.
on his
Yeah.
knees with his
Yes.
arms wide open, looking up to the sky.
Like, do something like that, so at least you know the Undertaker's.
But that'd be classic
Something
Bray
like-
Wyatt, and that would fit perfectly. If you make,
It really
you
would.
think I'm afraid of you?
Yeah, this is all fine, but I honestly...
Just do something. Is
Yeah,
the
I,
point.
and
No,
they did
exactly.
nothing. They did nothing.
Exactly.
They did it all on Fastlane. The big moment. That was the big moment. You know, you have him come out in the casket.
But it was
That
an
would be
epic
like
moment.
something
But it was an epic
you
moment
do
to call
even
him
closer
out.
to Mania.
Yes.
Listen, I'd rather him do that and call him out.
He's been calling him
no,
out.
No, like actually,
He could have said his name without doing
for
that.
us. Okay, for
on the
people,
same time.
For people who didn't know it was the Undertaker, like who's he talking to? There's still fans out there that were shocked. Don't tell me they're not. They're out there saying that they didn't know it was the Undertaker the entire
Listen,
time. Some people are.
if I were the WWE creative, I would have kept it going for another 3 weeks without
Mentioning the Undertaker.
mentioning the Undertaker. I would have kept it up about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks
That's a little
before
soon.
WrestleMania.
That's a
Well,
little soon.
Yeah.
if you're not going to show
Even
the Undertaker on TV, what does it matter?
Exactly. I kind of agree.
What
If you're
does
not
it
going to show him,
matter?
I agree with Gasper on this.
What does it matter if you're not going to show the Undertaker on TV whatsoever?
But I wouldn't have shown
Keep-
him doing like hitting a nail into a casket or anything else because that's giving
No,
away.
you keep going. But
Subtle hints.
as Vinny said,
Yeah, how many
for
weeks?
those
They
people
started
who
too soon.
don't know what Bray Wyatt's
They
doing,
started those promos too soon. There's so many. Like,
Yes.
just
also,
so many.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
was
could
on
have started
They
Raw,
were
with
good.
SmackDown.
I enjoyed them, and I got into the idea of this feud. But now it's like I don't want this for 5 more weeks.
It's just-
4 more weeks.
it's just-
of Raw.
interesting how it's just not even interesting. It's just befuddling on how they're gonna continue this out for the next 4.5 weeks, 4 weeks.
We'll have to wait and
I
see.
want to see him on Raw. I'm just worried that we won't see him and let that.
I wouldn't be mad if I didn't see him on Raw as long as we get something Taker.
He's known as just coming back from Mania, and it's like really going to be just Mania. Like it's like
Hey,
when
you two are the ones who really wanted this from the get-go.
no, I want it. I want him here.
Still want it.
I want him here though. I still want to see it, regardless if he just shows up Undertaker. I'll still want to see it, but it's like that time when CM Punk went away after he lost Undertaker, and then he came back to fight Jericho at Payback, and then Paul Heyman was like saying that CM Punk's coming, and like he wasn't there to build the match, and he just showed up to fight Chris Jericho, and I didn't like that, and it was just like you got to show up before. You can't build a feud with a guy not there. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
but
want
CM
that.
Punk's a totally different person from the Undertaker.
I know that. I'm just saying that like you have to have a guy appear
Yeah.
on a show to build
I
it
know,
up.
I
I
agree
agree
with you
with you.
on
I
normal
think Taker
things,
should-
but this is WWE now. They don't give a
Oh, he's
shit.
here. Oh, so how do we know the match? How can you bill it? How can you bill it if you don't have him accept? Or
We don't
do
have right now. We're not. It's not built right
Yeah,
now.
I know,
Right
you
now, it's
can't.
speculated.
But like I said, I think the mystery. I think they are playing it smart. We're not having him show up at all. I mean, yes, the promos are gonna get boring because he's not there every single time that we want him to be. But at the same time, like you said before, it's a mystery. Like, what's he look like? What's he doing? You know, why is he not
But
saying
1
it?
week or 2 weeks before, he should be on Raw. I
I
understand
agree.
now. Send
I
the
agree.
I
signal,
think
but
he will be.
we should have seen a signal last night from
But-
him, not him.
Listen,
Yes, we needed something.
Bray Wyatt
got
calls him
nothing.
out. Nothing happened.
Nothing.
It just makes the Undertaker.
What did we
look-
get from Sting? Nothing. What did we get from Triple H? Nothing. That's a different feud I'm talking about. But I'm just saying we got nothing last night on Raw. We
But-
got nothing.
It makes it look like the actual whenever Undertaker accepts the match, it's gonna mean a lot more than anything.
Well, I also think last night when you're saying they didn't go with any of the main storylines, you have to remember right now we only have 3 matches set for WrestleMania.
Yep.
Right? We have the main event.
The Andre Memorial Battle Royal
Okay.
and Sting Triple H.
Okay, so we have 3 matches officially set.
Yeah, officially, yes.
So we're 5 weeks. Like last time was 5 weeks away. They have to start building up the other mini storylines for the other matches. We started with the IC title match, and we think we're going to get a Fatal 4-Way out of this.
Okay.
It was building towards that.
Okay.
Bray Wyatt slowly building more for the Undertaker, a little bit more.
It took a step backwards
I know, well,
after Fastlane. Fastlane, woof. brought it up.
You know,
That got everyone's attention, and then the next night, they fell flat.
I think
They
Bray
went
Wyatt
back.
has everyone's attention since.
He's
the
good,
last day.
but when you take it to that level, and then the next night you go back to those same fucking promos.
yeah, but you're not going to do
like
something that grand
he
of
got a
stage
minute
every single
TV
week.
time. It was a minute of him and a coffin.
But I think what they're doing right now, they're building up that Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins match now. They're taking their time to start developing the next set
But
of
the
match.
thing is, with Randy Orton and Rollins, they didn't need to take their time because it was already made at the end of
Yeah,
October.
but you know they
the
have.
first week of November when
But
he got put out.
But you know WWE, they have to have a story behind it. So now it's going to be Randy Orton kind of placates him and then screws
It
him
could just
over.
be Randy Orton trying his hands on me. He keeps running, keeps getting away. That was good at Fastlane when he was like so scared. Randy Orton wasn't even chasing him, and he was still running. He was still running to the cars in the parking lot. That was great.
I'm
They
just
could
saying.
have just kept doing that.
I think right now, like last night, was more about setting up the undercard for the thing.
I felt like last night was a stall. They're stalling
Could've
for
been.
another week to figure
Figure
out
it
where
out.
exactly they want to go with everything. They don't plan this shit out.
Could be.
It was just like nothing. Everything was very stagnant. Nothing changed on Raw, really. The only thing was Randy Orton, going towards the authority a bit. That was it.
Well, we'll see what they go for. I mean, that's all we can do at this point. We'll have to hope it gets better.
I guess we'll just end it there. The whole Raw recap, Fastlane recap, and we'll go to WrestleMania Week 2. WrestleMania 6 through 10. Pretty good WrestleManias there, I guess,
Pretty
right?
good ones.
You know?
Yeah, that's some good
Better
ones.
than the first.
Yeah, the first five were kind of hard.
Absolutely better.
First
than
five have the epic moments, but it's just filled with trash.
I guess I'll start it off since I am the one who chose
Well,
WrestleMania 6.
this is also when they start getting guys that they're putting guys up the card a little more that were like better workers. They started to at this time period.
So go ahead.
Yeah.
At the end of the decade.
Well, I'll start WrestleMania 6, April 1st, 1990.
This was not one of those with the good workers.
Well, yeah, no, it
It was
wasn't.
a well-worked match. Though.
It was
The main event, champion versus champion.
Yep.
Ultimate Warrior
Memorable.
versus Hulk Hogan. Not gonna go into it. You motherfuckers better go.
Edge
watch
was
it.
there.
Edge was there. It was at the Skydome.
Yep.
Toronto
It was a
Skydome.
good match.
Should I go
Alright.
next to 7?
Go ahead.
No, I got WrestleMania 7, Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter, USA versus Iran. Once again, go watch it.
I believe you were next in the order, technically.
Oh, order. Okay. WrestleMania 8. Macho Man versus Ric Flair. It was not the main event, which was an absolute shame. Hulk Hogan and Sid Justice was for some reason. And there's not even the title on the line, which is garbage. Hogan had to be the main event, I guess. It was a great match. Macho Man, Ric Flair, and Miss Elizabeth. They had like a thing where they were like fighting over her. Flair said he's been with her. That kind of storyline.
Woo!
Good match though. Very good. Two good wrestlers.
Okay.
Great wrestlers.
I'm not going with 9, so we're skipping one of them. I'm going with WrestleMania 10, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon for the undisputed Intercontinental Championship ladder match, baby.
First ever.
First ever ladder match.
And still one of the best, if not the
It
best.
is the best ladder matches of all time.
Uh,
I don't care what you motherfuckers said. We've already
It was the
argued this.
most innovative.
Just watch this shit.
Yeah,
Just
it was-
watch it.
Even though Bret Hart made the idea and then he wasn't included in it, and he's still fucking bitter about it.
Yeah.
He's like, I was wrestling ladder matches in Canada for how many years, and then he mentioned it to WWE, and then they took it and they didn't even put him in the match.
Wow.
But those two put on a hell of a match, so
Yeah.
just watch it.
typical WWE.
Just you could show Michael's like, oh, we're not gonna put you in your own idea. We're gonna put like your
Yeah.
arch rival in it, and just to like brag.
my runner-ups were also bonus ones. If you want to watch Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper, WrestleMania was good.
That was a
and
good one.
WrestleMania 10, Bret versus Owen was the first match on the card.
I'm even throw it in there and go Jimmy Snuka versus Rick Rude.
Really?
I enjoyed it. I
Oh.
watched it today and I was just
I don't recall that one personally, but
yeah. It was WrestleMania 6.
I mean, I've watched all of
Yeah,
WrestleManias. It's just
but
was
I'm
a long
saying,
time
like,
ago.
it's a good one. I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
You're gonna wrap it up.
Wrap
I
it
hope
up.
you do.
Wrap it
Wrap
up.
it up.
At least you're being safe.
Episode 16 done
16.
It's
Yeah.
Wow.
by WrestleMania 31. We're at 31, 32, 31,
31.
31. We'll be at episode 20.
We're at episode 16.
Woo!
That wasn't one of my favorite
It's
manias.
not WrestleMania
Fatal
30,
4 Way.
it's
WrestleMania
Play
2000.
button.
Yeah, play button.
WrestleMania play button.
Play button.
Hey,
Shout out
if
to
you
Brian.
guys, every Tuesday we're live on Mixler.com/UnderTheRing. This is for you YouTube folks at home listening to us
YouTube.
at YouTube.
At YouTube.
/Under the Ring. Is that a thing? I
I don't know what you were going for.
I don't know what our YouTube channel is. It's Under the Ring
Ring
Radio.
Radio.
Yes, there it is. Sorry, guys. You know,
Wow.
brain fart. You can also follow us on the Facebook at Under the Ring Radio, which is where we post most of our stuff after NXT pay-per-views, anything really, regular pay-per-views, this and that. You know, you could interact with us there. And you could follow us on the Twitter at Under the Ring 1. Why the 1? Because we're kind of the only one that matters. Be good.
Kind of.